Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Adam's here.
All right, let's start off the day, guys, by Tom just respectfully letting everybody know yesterday's Super Bowl was hands down the worst Super Bowl I've watched in my life. I'm sure the people that are Seattle, I was about to say Supersonics, Seattle Seahawks fans, I'm sure you enjoyed it. Everybody else, what a boring Super Bowl. But, you know, there was some controversy going on with the halftime show, and there's two songs in my brain right now, Vinny, that just lingering. Ones? One of them is In the Jungle, because that song, because of a video that apparently went viral that, should have not been posted. And then, of course, Bad Bunny and then Kid Rock. So you're wondering, like, brain's confused. I don't know what I'm listening to right now. Yep. There's a lot of stuff that we need to go through, guys. It was interesting to see what TPUSA did with their Super Bowl halftime show, record-breaking numbers. I mean, the number of live stream that they had, insane. I saw it hitting 5.6, 5.7 concurrent numbers. And allegedly, the Super Bowl numbers, they're saying it's going to come around 125 to 128 million viewers. That's what they're saying. They don't have the final numbers yet. They're saying it's going to be lower than last year. Last year was the record-breaking year that hit 134 million. So some may say, is this because TPUSA took that 6-7 million away and they watched that? Or is it because nobody really cared about Seahawks playing the Patriots, where not a two big superstar quarterbacks are playing? Who knows? Who knows what the reason is? But commercials. I just watched 50 Cent's commercial. And have you seen 50 Cent? Have you guys seen 50 Cent's commercial?
No.
Okay, don't watch it. No.
Somebody.
I just want you to, I am so, Tom, have you seen it or no?
Yes, I did.
Okay, don't say anything.
I'll be
just
quiet.
want, are you kidding me, Vinny? You're joking to me. You haven't seen it.
Why would I lie to you?
Okay, let me put it to you this way. I can't wait to see your reaction when we watch this together. Folks, wait for us and watch it with us because we're going to get right into it. I thought Coinbase crushed it with their commercial. The way they got everybody singing. Next thing you know, everyone's singing. Was it Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? It was one of the two. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is grown men singing this song?
I loved it.
Tom is up there dancing and doing stuff.
Twerking. Couldn't help it.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself. And then for a minute, we thought the kicker was going to be the MVP, and it was going to be a shutout. But no, they ended up scoring a couple touchdowns. So anyways, bunch of Super Bowl stories to get into, which we will address. At the same time, this Savannah Guthrie story, okay, Nancy Guthrie story. I don't know, guys. This is like a, you know how sometimes you were telling me this morning, we were like, Vinny goes home yesterday, and then next thing you know, what do you not do at 11:30 at night? Have coffee. So Vinny has coffee, okay? And after having coffee, stays up till 1 o'clock in the morning thinking he's, Sherlock Holmes, trying to investigate what happened here. And I think he's figured it out, and he's going to reveal to us what happened today. But there is some what is that clip? The script, what she says, is identical to the script from the movie, Rob.
It's wild.
Silence of the
Lambs.
So
it
weird.
is so wild. Oh. We have to watch that. Yeah, it's absolutely something we'll watch. Trump administration suspends 111,620 California borrowers for allegedly committing billions in pandemic-era fraud. He also announces dramatic drop in Ozempic price. Trump's midterm redistricting master plan is falling short. That's Wall Street Journal story. Yeah. Trump deletes the racist video depicting Obamas as monkeys after bipartisan backlash. It's a political story. We have to get into that. Trump had to call Tim Scott. And, Rob, I don't think the person that allegedly posted that video is fired, right, if I'm not mistaken. We'll talk about that as well. There's some stuff that's going on with Tulsi Gabbard. Florida voters sued DeSantis over redistricting push. Harvard is woke. The War Department is not. Pentagon terminates academic partnership with Ivy League schools. And then we have Mamdani quotes the Quran, Bible, to support sanctuary city status, which I'm sure, Vinny, you'll love that.
Oh, it was amazing.
Prediction market Kalshi seeks U.S. approval to offer margin trades. Pretty intense. That's going to be crazy. 9 in 10 American, you ready for this? Believes U.S. is in full-blown cost of living crisis. study finds. Adam's got some thoughts on that. Washington Post publisher Will Lewis abruptly steps down days after massive layoffs. Gut the newspaper. I don't know how much longer Bezos is going to take all this noise the company is creating for no profit. You're wasting your flipping time, managing a business like this. Cut the damn business. You can afford to lose $40, $50 million or even take a $50 million. I'm sure some billionaire would love to be able to put in their assets to say they own WAPO. Get rid of it. It's creating so many headaches for you. I've done that in the past before in a much smaller version, but we'll see. We'll see what happened there. FCC launches probe into ABC's show The View amid crackdown on equal time for candidates. And then Team USA freestyle skiers spark Olympic outrage. You ready for this? Earmuffs, kids, if you're listening to this, especially if you're under 18. I'll give parents a second. Ready? That's your second. Team USA freestyle skiers spark Olympic outrage over remarks about representing U.S. anti-American rhetoric, okay, or rhetoric. Okay, rhetoric.
I like rhetoric, actually.
No,
better.
it's rhetoric, but I thought it was a different one because this next one Tom wanted to talk about. Olympic ski jumpers are reportedly juicing their penises, their danglings, for bigger jumps. Literally, it's a Daily Caller story. They are literally putting steroids down there because it makes them go longer, jump. I don't mean to say that.
No pun intended. I get it.
They jump longer. It's what. By the way, this morning, out of all the hundreds of stories we got, this story, Humberto brings up a robbery. Tom is standing up showing us what they do. I'm like, Tom, grab a seat.
Put your pants back on.
Grab a seat, Tom. What are you doing? Vinny's in the bathroom screaming, hollering. Anyways, that's a whole different story there.
But I got applause.
Yeah, you did. You did get applause. Bad Bunny parties with Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin at the Super Bowl show. We will do all the Super Bowl stuff. Black national anthem stokes social media outrage before Super Bowl. Did they do Black national anthem, Rob?
Yes.
When? Was it on TV?
I don't know if it was on TV, but I do have the video of it, so I'm assuming.
But they did it at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like 38 minutes of pregame stuff
Okay,
on the field.
So they added this.
Coin
I
toss.
got it.
I mean, literally, the coin toss and the anthems now are taking 38 minutes.
Can I give a very, very fast shout out? Pat made chicken yesterday, and I'm not even being funny. You go to those places in the mall that just they give you that little toothpick with the ridiculous chicken.
We go to Costco and they give you the samples.
Oh, I'm not even being funny. Every time it landed, everybody kept jumping in there, and I was pushing kids out of the way. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how good the chicken was.
That's his secret marinade. You see the big bowl.
I saw it.
Pineapple
that was
juice
ridiculous.
and all that stuff in there. That's his secret recipe.
One of these days when we do something, I'm gonna. Who knows? Maybe if we do a special event for 4th of July, Vinny, you know what I may do? I may be out there barbecuing, grilling my chicken, like pounds of it for everybody. Cutting it up. Come get it. I may do something like
sauce,
that.
Oh,
that chicken
man.
is the best.
You do a how-to on your marinade and share it? Because I know it's like the recipe for Coke, right? It's like it's
well,
secret.
I can't tell you guys. Listen, that's my insurance policy. If this stuff doesn't work out for me, I'm going to open up a little chicken spot, PBD's chicken.
If everything fails.
And who knows? Low key, just making, $120,000 a year, enjoying myself making chicken for folks.
Anyways, chicks.
Those are the stories. Now, folks, Rob, I don't know if you have the clip or not. Gang, for those of you guys, you know what's been happening a lot lately, which I love, okay, which I love. The statistic when I'm looking at this on what's happening with PBD Podcast, more ladies are starting to watch PBD Podcast, and it keeps climbing, okay? And, of course, we all know why that is. We have Vinny on the show, and we have Tom on the show. And we do have Adam on the show, okay?
Not so much.
But the ladies are starting to watch the podcast more and more. A lot of mothers and families and ladies who are getting on here. So, fellas or ladies, Rob, if you can go a little bit lower for Valentine's Day, if you want to get a Stefano Ricci collaboration tie with Valuetainment, these are limited numbered. We have them there, but also if you go a little bit lower for the ladies, the pink hats are here. By the way, these pink hats are pink Future Looks Bright hat. Rob, can you please click on it? Especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. Go there. Okay, Future Looks Bright, pink hats. What on the bottom, if you keep going, it's a beautiful hat, by the way. Every time you see somebody wearing this, it pops. If you, ladies, you say you watch it, if you want to represent the Future Looks Bright hat, so when you're walking in the mall, you're at the gym, you're at work, you put this on, other people say, wait a minute, me too. I watched that show as well. I'm also a Valuetainer. Click on a link below. Get yourself one of these pink hats or some of the red gear that we have, especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. It's the most expensive day of the year for me because it's my wife's birthday that day. My wife's born on Valentine's Day, and it's Valentine's Day. But we got a soccer tournament this weekend for us instead of Valentine's Day. So we got some stuff that we got to do because there's a soccer tournament. Anyways, go to vtmerch.com, place your order. With that being said, let's get right into it. First story I want to get into is the Super Bowl. Okay, so first, let's start off with the Bad Bunny performance. Rob, what can we show? What can we show with the Bad Bunny performance? What can we not show? I'll start off with an open-ended question. Turning Point USA, at the same time, announced they're going to be doing a halftime show, okay? And their halftime show, Rob, if I'm not mistaken, I know they announced they're going to have Kid Rock there. They had a bunch of different people there, and they're like, okay, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? There's not really a crowd there. Do we just invite a few friends and family and then put on the show? How many people are going to show up? What will be considered a success? On the TPUSA YouTube channel, we watched it 10 minutes before the halftime show. They had 250,000 people waiting. Then it went to 450. Then it went to 650. Then it hit 1 million. And then all of a sudden, we were all betting at the house how many people were going to be watching a live stream. I think you hit 5.6, 5.7 just on the TPUSA channel, not including Charlie Kirk's channel. 13 hours later, 20 million people watched these guys perform. And Rob, the folks that were performing were who? I know it's Kid Rock. Zoom in. It's right there. If you zoom in, I'll see it right there.
Brantley
to the right.
Gilbert.
There you go. Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and you have Gabby Barrett performing. And then you have Bad Bunny. A lot of controversy. Is he going to wear a dress? No. Is he going to do ice? No. Some people said that kid that he gave the Grammy to was Liam Ramos, which it wasn't, right? Mm-hmm. The claims about that, the Grammy that he gave to that kid apparently, when we were watching it, it was like, hey, kid, young Bad Bunny, he's an actor. The kid was an actor. One day, you're going to win a Grammy. And he's giving it to his younger self, which was a good depiction. So, and then there was no ice message. And matter of fact, you know what's the craziest thing? What Super Bowl did? Shout out to Roger Goodell. Right after Bad Bunny was done performing, guess what was the first commercial that played right after the Bad Bunny performance? An ice commercial.
Really?
Did you guys see this? An ice commercial, Rob. Is this the ice commercial?
Yep.
So Bad Bunny ends, and then right afterwards, this is what they're showing. Go ahead, Rob.
Equal time.
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
By the way, pause. Victory goes to Roger Goodell for doing this. I like this equal time stuff that we're talking about. You allow this to happen, you allow that to happen, and you allow the commercial, and Bad Bunny stayed civil for the most part. I have some commentary I'll give as well, but Adam, I'll come to you. Your reaction to Bad Bunny's performance.
So I have mixed reviews here, and here's really what's going on here. I'm gonna basically say there's winners and losers, and there's a lot of winners, and there's one big loser. The big loser is the United States of America. The winners are every single individual group that wants to basically express their beliefs. So Bad Bunny and the Latin American crowd, huge victory for them. Huge victory for Turning Point USA, record numbers. Huge victory for the immigrant community. A huge immigrant for our enemies, foreign and domestic. They want to see America divided. They want to see the halftime not speaking in English. They want to see people upset about it. They want to see the Black National Anthem. The only way that this country is going to lose is if we're divided. Now, who lost? Well, the NFL. Like, the NFL woke up with a black eye this morning. The game sucked. The halftime show is basically what all everyone wants to talk about. You think that's what they want to be known for? And then literal patriots. Bob Kraft had a bad week, didn't get elected to the Hall of Fame. Either did Bill Belichick. Tom Brady, obviously rooting for the Patriots. They lost. So, in my opinion, there was a lot of individual winners, but one big loser, and that's the United States and the NFL.
Vinny.
Well, I mean, nobody should be surprised. I love a lot of people like, I can't believe they. No. Yes, you should. He was scheduled to do it. Okay, you know how he stands politically. He barely speaks English. He's at a Yankee game. He sits for God Bless America. So I don't like the fact that people were surprised what's going to happen. But my thing is this. This was supposed to be an entertainment for the biggest night in American sports. If you don't follow Bad Bunny, if you don't speak Spanish, if you're not down with the twerking in the club, it wasn't entertaining. Plain and simple. We're sitting at the house, and literally, I look back. There's maybe one or two people that were Latinos that were dancing. Don't get me wrong. The beats were good. The dancing's okay. But like, if you think about it, all of it was Spanish except what? Lady Gaga for 20 seconds. She spoke English. If that's not it, but I think personally that's what they wanted. That's what they gave you. If you support the NFL, good for you. My opinion, and if it's okay with you, Pat, I have Rob to play it. The best part of the Super Bowl, while everybody's getting ready and talking and running around, everybody at the house, at Pat's house, stopped. Me, Tom, everybody, people were in mid-conversation, took off their hat and stopped and watched the TV. It was Charlie Puth's national anthem. If this right here doesn't give you goosebumps about being America, this is what America was about. This was it. Rob, you could go at 120, right? Perfect, right there, Rob. Play this if it's okay. Go for it. By the way, not lip syncing. This isn't lip syncing, by the way, and as Rob tries to get it, this is his actual voice live singing the national anthem.
Yeah, I'm buffering. Hang on one
second. It's okay. You're buff yourself. But anyway.
Here we go.
Yeah, here it goes. Right there, Rob. Perfect. Boom.
Very patriotic.
Watch this, Adam.
Very patriotic.
Watch.
Love that.
I mean, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Listen to his voice right. What?
Me too up there.
Oh my goodness. That's what it's about. And Adam posted a video yesterday about a Whitney Houston, Pat singing. Like this, by the way, again, this isn't bashing Spanish people, Puerto Rican people, whatever. There could be room for that. But on America's biggest stage, people want songs that they know, moments that they could remember forever, something that's going to sing along with, not something that you have to translate and sit and not understand it. Did you see the video of Inside? Could we play that one, Rob? I wouldn't play the music because he's singing. But for anybody out there that was like, what do you mean? Everybody inside the stadium was having a blast. There's a video of somebody that took from inside and was recording and panning around the audience. There's one or two white people dancing. Yeah, Rob, lower the volume because he is singing it. This is what inside while he's singing looks like. Two people dancing. Look at everybody in there. They're not recording. They're just standing there. Nobody understands what's going on. You have one white girl dancing. Good for her. Nobody's into it. Nobody's into it. So it was a little disappointing. If you're Puerto Rican and you knew what he was saying, you had a blast. But for me, it was kind of a letdown.
Well, I have 2 points that are different. And the first is the NFL contracted, a producer, Rock Nation, 50 Cent, whoever it was.
Jay-Z, not 50 Cent.
Jay-Z, I'm sorry, Jay-Z. Yep. Contract Jay-Z to do 2 things. Number 1, bring us younger audiences. Number 2, bring us more diverse audiences. And let's do that through music. And the Super Bowl halftime show has been a musical extravaganza for 25 years now. And so that's what the NFL wants. And the NFL, let's face it, they need that diversity. They need those audiences because they need to get the audiences aligned with the broadcast for which they're being paid billions of dollars. So if they get $1 billion contract, $6 billion, for streaming, $4 billion for this, all these contracts, the audiences have to come true. Otherwise, next time, they're not going to get the same contract. So they are out there trying to get younger audiences, more audiences. Point 1. Point 2, from the minute they did this, and Bad Bunny, what was he on Saturday Night Live? All of you are going to see me. If you don't understand Spanish, you have 6 months to learn. Remember he did that?
Yep.
And he delivered what he said he was going to do, which is a Spanish language performance. And, I didn't see anything particularly offensive in it. Do I think it could have been better? Do I think it was a little tone deaf in terms of the wide audience? Yeah. But it was like a cultural walkthrough of his Hispanic themes. And similar to a halftime show I thought was well produced a couple years ago, the walk through the history of hip hop, and they had the big house and all of the East and West and everything. I thought they did a good job with that. It felt to me like he was trying to do a little bit of the same thing. Now, I understand Ricky Martin. I don't understand others, but that's just me. But that's my thoughts.
What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, so a couple things. I want to isolate. We'll talk about Turning Point USA, why that could have been a bigger disruption. We'll talk about that. I do want to address one thing that's probably the most important part of the story, because anybody that's a parent watching this that has a kid that plays sports, we had a conversation last time with my nephew, and one of my sons plays competitive soccer, and we have a lot of people. Many of you guys do as well. There are not too many stories, better stories you can tell your kids than the Sam Darnold story. Let me tell you what's special about Sam Darnold story. Sam Darnold is the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to be a starting quarterback for two different teams, back-to-back, that had a 14-3 record. And last year, Minnesota banks on somebody else. They said, no, Sam Darnold's not the reason why we're doing well. It's Justin Jefferson. Any quarterback will do well with Justin Jefferson. They're probably not wrong. This quarterback gives you a 14-3 record. You give up on him. Then Seahawks come in and say, we'll take you. They bring him in. Same record, 14-3. Takes him to the Super Bowl, and they win. I don't even know who they announced was the MVP. Was it the running back?
The running back,
right?
the third.
But Sam Darnold, as a starting QB, took two teams 14-3 and won. And by the way, this kid, Sam, in 9th grade, they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? He says, 1, I want to play for USC. He does. 2, I want to go out there and go into the NFL. And all this stuff he's saying, and he says, I want to also be known as a nice guy. I want to be known that this was a nice guy. Sam Darnold said this at what do you call it, 9th grade. There are a lot of bad examples kids are following right now on social media. It's a very, very encouraging example to give a kid who goes to the Jets, nothing happens with the Jets. Is that it, Rob? Yeah, here you go. Attend the University of USC, he does. Become a sports broadcaster for ESPN, he will. Become a father, never drink or use drugs in my life, and be remembered as the nice one. Wow. So guess what, Sam Darnold? You're awesome, buddy. I hope you maintain the standard, and I hope many parents out there that want to give an example of somebody saying, hey, that's a good example. That's a role model. That's Sam Darnold for you. Dreams can become a reality. So parents, we had a good example of a person that won it. There's a lot of good stories that's probably going to come out with us. He's probably going to go on the tour, do a bunch of different shows, all these, shows that you do on TV, so we can learn more about his story. That's that. Let's set that part aside. Let's come back to Bad Bunny. Look, I'm from the Middle East. I was born and raised in Iran, okay? My mother's Armenian, Bogosian. My dad's Assyrian. Vinny's Assyrian, from New York, lived in L.A., comedian, actor. Adam's Jewish, born in Miami. Not from Israel. He's born in Miami. Played Miami Country Day. One of the best athletes down here. Goes to Florida State. Florida State plays football, basketball, one cut away from making it to the NBA. Denver Nuggets. Chauncey Billups' nephew got the spot instead of him. Stories with his father. What his father used to do with Special Olympics. Tom, Dad was a rocket scientist, right? IBM. Dad worked on a lot of different things. One day, Tom and I were having dinner in San Diego at some event we went to, and this man sitting next to us, I don't know why we were having this religious moment that night, like it was a very spiritual moment, and this man sitting here, I start a conversation with the man. Next thing you know, we find out this old man worked at the same exact place as Tom's dad did. Next thing you know, Tom's in tears crying with the man. He had a moment about his father. Lives in Florida. Goes to Cal State University in Northridge. Gets his MBA. Goes at IBM as a guy that's seen as a regular guy, wins first in his company. Has done 20-plus deal toys, $2 billion-plus deals. Family's got lineage to Canada. Everybody's got a certain emotional attachment to your blood and your heritage. Guess what Bad Bunny's is? Puerto Rico. That's what he is. That's what his pride is. That's his stories. He's telling his story. Now, he didn't do anything wrong. He was selected. He didn't choose to do the what do you call it, the halftime show. He didn't choose to do it. He was selected. Jay-Z selected him. Obviously, at the halftime show, the audience there didn't win because the show is horrible when you're at the Super Bowl. I've been to the Super Bowl. It's horrible when you're in the what do you call it?
In the stands.
The sound sucks. You can't see anything. You're trying to track it. This show, believe it or not, is better if you're sitting at home watching it than if you're actually there, right? There are only a few shows that if you were there, you were like, oh, my God, this was crazy. Michael Jackson, One of One, it'll never top it. Maybe Whitney Houston, maybe Janet Jackson, Timberlake, a couple of the stuff, that historic moments that we think about, there's typically controversy tied to it. Give him credit. Do you think some people gave him feedback? Do you think some people said don't go in a dress? Do you think some people said don't make this about politics? Do you think some people said keep it toned down? Do you think he maybe wanted to flirt with it? So credit to him who maybe didn't do any of that stuff that everybody else was doing at the Grammys. I didn't see a sticker that said ice out, right? I didn't see a be good sticker. I didn't see anything. So somebody gave him clear instructions, and as a creative, guess what typically creatives are known for doing? Breaking rules. And I don't think he broke any rules. I actually thought it was I give it a 7, and I don't know what score I gave it last time we were going through it. I thought I gave it a 7, 7.5. I actually enjoyed the storytelling of the performance. Let me bring it back to where I think they messed up. Listen, guys, you could have brought Bad Bunny at 251. You could have brought him at 249. You could have brought him at 252. I don't care. Great. My son listens to Bad Bunny. Doesn't agree with them, but my youngest son actually knows quite a few songs of Bad Bunny. It makes you want to move. It's a very happy music, even though some of the songs, like my nanny will listen to, says, Daddy, do you know what he's saying? I said, no. Let me tell you what he's saying. I'm like, no shit. Yeah, oh, wow, that's pretty crazy what he's saying. 250-year anniversary, you couldn't have done something else? Really? On 250-year anniversary, we couldn't have said, made this about America? Remember, NBA has teams in Canada. It's an international sport. NHL has teams in Canada. It's an international sport. MLB has teams in Canada. It's an international sport. NFL is an American sport. And this was a 250-year anniversary. And as much as I paid attention to everything, Roger Goodell at the end of the halftime performance after the game, he's hugging Bad Bunny and he's thanking him with all this other stuff, and they're having a moment together. I get it. This was a good opportunity for us to make it about 250 years. It doesn't mean get political. You know how amazing of a scene would have been? Like if you would have done something like We Are the World, We Are the Children. Remember when they did that one song back in the days? Of course. That song that we still sing till today.
We Are the World.
Yeah, it was just an amazing moment, right? What if we brought Kid Rock and Beyonce and, a Bad Bunny, and what if we brought everybody from America? What if we brought Morgan Wallen? What if we brought all of these guys to say, hey, this is America. This is who we are. What if we did that? I think that was the missed opportunity for me with the NFL, that they could have made it. Again, 251, 252, I don't care. 249, 248, I don't care. It's a marketing decision. That's where I think the NFL missed the mark. Aside from that, I actually give them credit. Now let's talk about Turning Point USA. On a Turning Point USA side, when you think about what they did, okay, Turning Point USA, to say that these guys took on the NFL, the first ever institution to take on the NFL and have the courage to test and see what happened. And by the way, I don't even think they knew how many people would tune in. I guarantee you Turning Point USA had no clue. 5.6, 5.7, 5.8 million concurrent people were going to tune into one channel, and Charlie Kirk's channel would have 1 million. So you put those two together, 7 million tuning in, watching that. I don't think they were expecting that. So when I watched the show and I watched the audience and I saw it, I'm like, all right, good performance. It was okay. I gave it a 6, 6.5. And why do I give it a 6? I give it a 10 for the idea and execution. I give it a 6, 6.5 because the market is now saying there is a place for that. And you can actually get Super Bowl to want to do a co-op with you and do something with you. I don't know what that would look like. But I do think if they would have put a little bit more money into it, I think it could have been more creative. I think they could have added some humor. I think they could have done a little bit more. But I do give them a 6.5 for the performance that they had. I give them a 10 for execution, the fact that they actually did it. They came through. And now the market's watching and saying, oh, my God, there's a place for this. Remember, you know what they charge for 30-second slots this year for commercials?
$3 million?
$8 to $10 million. Let me say it one more time. 30-second is $8 million to $10 million. 60 second is 16 to 20 million dollars to put a 60-second commercial. So if I'm the board right now, remember, in business, it's all about margins. It's all about margins. Yeah, $8 to $10 million, 30 seconds. In business, it's all about small little percentages. What does that mean? Tom, if a insurance company loses 7% of market share to somebody else, do they pay attention to it?
Oh, my gosh. When you take a look at 10% PE, so a price-earnings ratio, typical company on Wall Street, Pat, 10% profitability, net profit is a big deal. You lose 7% off the top, that probably goes to 5%.
So you know what this means,
your profits are your last month. Not only would it get my attention, it would get everybody standing up hot.
Do you think they're talking about TPUSA at all? Do
Yes,
you think
they
the
are.
word TPUSA has come out of Roger Goodell's mouth?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think they're thinking about? Do you think Roger Goodell's the type of guy that will make the call and say, hey, guys, can we think about something for next year? Do you think they would do that?
To like a Jay-Z.
Yes.
Do I think Roger Goodell calls Jay-Z or calls Trump or calls these guys and say, hey, can we figure out something to do for 2027 and still entertain the audience with TPUSA? Do you think they do that?
I don't think they do a mashup, but I think in the coming week, not weeks, they're going to sit down and look at this because you're going to have, let's say that I'm Pepsi or I'm Budweiser. I'm like, hey, man, I gave you the horse and the eagle trying to put an American ad
Okay,
on
so
this
let me
thing.
flip it then. Let me flip it. Do you think Pepsi and Coca-Cola and those guys, somebody from TPUSA calls them and say, hey, we've already lined up next year, and here's what we want to do. We want to go ahead. We understand you're doing it there as well. Here's what we want to think about. Do you want to do you want to be a sponsor? Do you think they make that kind of a call?
Absolutely. If I'm
I
Budweiser,
agree.
I'm in the business of selling my product.
I agree.
And I got 20 million people on TPUSA on their first year. It's going to be bigger next year, and
Yes.
it's going to be more there. And I'm going to tell them to say, listen, I know you're looking for my money. I've always been here at the Super Bowl, but I'm giving you 7 next year. That's
Right.
all I'm doing because I'm going to put 4 with TPUSA. Soon as that happens, you not only have Roger Goodell's attention, you have the attention of every owner that's going to be in Roger Goodell's
I totally
ears.
agree.
And not all those owners were happy about Bad Bunny.
I
by the
totally
way.
agree. I totally agree, Adam.
Well, here's what I think is really going on here. I think the NFL just had their Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney moment where they said, whoa, we're abandoning our core audience to please a certain audience. And listen, born and raised Miami, in the nightlife scene, dude, I love Bad Bunny. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong performer for the moment. I agree with you on that. But don't forget, who does the NFL really care about? NFL is not red. NFL is not blue. NFL is all about the green. They might as well change the NFL to the National Finance League. They're charging 10, 20 million bucks. Money grab, money grab, money grab, money grab. There's also a saying in the NFL, not for long. Hey, if you don't act right, not for long. So if you keep doing things like this, Roger Goodell, you're going to have fans say, just like Colin Kaepernick, not for long. So in my opinion, what they're going to do is next year and say, we're going to stomp on Turning Point USA. They are no longer going to be basically taking our audience away, and they're going to have a country hip-hop mashup. They're going to probably bring Garth Brooks and Nelly and do that type of thing because they got to bring America again. Final point. I genuinely don't think the NFL fully understands how big of a player they are in the national landscape for culture. This is the biggest cultural moment in our country, and you're going to fumble the ball on the 1-yard line, Roger Goodell? Do better.
But when you say the Dylan Mulvaney moment, do you not think Roger Goodell? He's a smart guy. Whatever people hate on him and his decisions in the past, like you know that they're in the room. They're like, he's like, wait a minute. So every song is going to be in Spanish. Yes. Are we cool with that? Yes. And I'm curious how much of a moment is like Jay-Z and them going, yeah, we're gonna do that. Jay-Z's not stupid as well. This is intentional. If you're doing this, it's intentional. With Dylan Mulvaney, they hired a girl at Budweiser. Remember, she was all woke, rainbows everywhere. She's like, that's for the movement. That was a horrible decision with some DEI stuff, and they paid the consequences. This, I don't think, is one of those moments.
Yeah.
I don't think this is that moment.
Are you upset that every song was in Spanish?
I didn't get anything out of it. I don't know any of the songs. I don't
let me
know
just
Spanish.
play devil's advocate. That's what he does.
I understand that.
That's like getting mad at Kendrick
I'm not-
Lamar
no.
that every song he sang last year
I'm not getting
was
mad.
a hip hop song.
I'm not getting mad. I'm
That's
just-
what he does.
no.
That's like saying, "Hey, I don't really like what Usher did 2 years ago
Adam,
because he did R&B." That's what he does.
Adam, I'm not upset. I'm disappointed because you know what, Adam? I wasn't even gonna watch the damn thing. I'm watching it because I'm with them and I want to hang out and be with people that we know. But then when it's halftime and I'm sitting there for however long it was, I don't know his songs. I don't know Spanish.
Well, you
so
know him
what
now.
am I getting out of it?
You know him now.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is, these aren't decisions that are just, oh, whoops, we just messed up Dylan Mulvaney. No, they know what they're doing, and
Do
it
you
is
think
intentional.
the NFL is regretting this decision? They woke up today, seeing the ratings, seeing
No,
the
they don't
game.
give a damn.
Do you think they're regretting this? PBD?
Not at all. Not at all.
I don't care.
I don't.
Not
I
at
don't,
all?
No.
Even with Turning Point USA taking
No.
part of their audience?
By the way, here's how life works. Somebody had to eventually do it. I have so much respect that TPUSA chose to do something because it could have been a massive flop. Massive flop. By the way, at what number would you have said, okay, good for them? If they had 1 million live stream, would you have been like, damn, that's pretty good?
That's pretty good, though.
They did 5.8 million live
That's what I'm
stream.
saying.
Yeah.
I think it's the second or third highest live stream ever on YouTube anyone's ever done. And number one was a country, India.
Yeah.
It's not like it's easy to do
Well,
something like that.
that's why I
So
think the NFL should be worried.
I agree with the part that you're saying, but also the NFL. Here's the problem. Like, so remember, what is NFL trying to do? What is the NBA trying to do? Who is their competition? What is NBA and NFL's competition? Who do they look at as competition? One
Each other.
sport. No, it's one sport. Soccer. Soccer.
You're saying around the world?
I mean, look at,
Globalized?
dude, what did Ronaldo get paid last year? Rob, can you pull up Ronaldo's contract in Saudi? What was Ronaldo's contract in Saudi? Watch this. You
I
ready?
think the last year.
What is
250,
Ronaldo's
crazy.
contract in Saudi? And then I want you to go ask what Messi. Look at this. Ronaldo's contract in Saudi was what? It was, is it pulling up?
million, something crazy like that, right?
It makes
be
no
wrong?
sense. It's a 2.5-year contract for $500 million.
$200 million
He gets paid $200 million a
Wow.
year.
250. That's euros.
Yeah. That's right, euros,
That's right.
250. So $600 million. So do you not think NBA players are like, man, when are we going to make $200 million a year? Da, 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 da. Well, guess what? We got to make the sport international. Do I think Roger Goodell's going to sit there and think about losing the 7% while he's trying to gain India, China, Europe, Brazil, South, Central America? I don't know how they're thinking in their marketing meetings. I don't know if they're so. Who cares about the conservatives? It's 7%. Let's go get China. Let's go get this. That's the part that I don't know what their marketing team is thinking about.
Well, you're absolutely right, by the way, and I'll give you data. How many games were played not in the country this year? Mexico, London,
yeah.
Berlin.
Yeah.
They've been doing this for a while.
Yes, they have.
Expanding their audience.
Yeah.
So it's not a secret that the NFL is trying to globalize their league.
They are.
Because you're absolutely right to use some data. If they lose 7%, but they gain 25%, that's a net win for the NFL. And I
By the
think
way,
that's what they're doing.
Rob, can you still go to the previous poll or no?
I cannot. I can tell you the results, so I know them.
16,000 people voted. Don't tell the results. Give them the option. I want to see what they think people voted as. Go ahead.
The options were which Super Bowl halftime show did you watch? Bad Bunnies, Turning Point USA's, I watched both, or I watched neither.
What do you think was first?
This is our audience?
Our audience.
Oh, our audience.
So Bad Bunny, Turning Point USA, both, neither. Vinny, which one do you think's first? What's last?
I'm sorry, say the question again.
Okay, which Super Bowl halftime show did you watch? Bad Bunny, Turning Point USA, both, neither. What do you think they said?
Both.
Our audience.
Both was first place?
Our audience?
Tom, what do you think they said?
I think the number one is, I'm going to go 45% TPUSA was number one. Our audience.
Okay.
And then
What's last?
last is neither.
Last is neither. Okay, Adam, what do you say?
Our audience, 60 to 70 watched Turning Point, 30 to 40 watched Super Bowl, and very few watched neither.
I think
People
more of our
watch
audience
this.
watched.
So
the
that adds
actual
up to
Super Bowl.
120.
Okay, show it, Rob. Show
Well,
it.
I can tell. I don't have it.
Okay, go ahead.
So it was 40% TPUSA, 30% NFL, 25% both, and then 20% both, 10% neither.
So who won?
TPUSA.
TPUSA, so more
TPUSA had
people want-
40%, and then Super Bowl was 30% that they watched it.
But
Okay,
you know what's so impressive
What's
about
that?
this? Who were the people that were on Turning Point USA halftime show? Kid Rock, and name the other names.
I don't know.
Exactly. Kid Rock hasn't had a hit in 20 years, bro. This is something that is
what I'm trying to say.
this-
They're
so-
flirting to see if this could work.
They could have said, listen, it's country music X, jazz music Y, folk music Z. Like the performers were irrelevant. They came as almost like defiance to the NFL.
Yeah.
They don't have big names here. I've never heard of any of these names. I've heard them sing. They're great, but I don't know any of these people. Kid Rock, when's the last big song that he had? Ball with the ball, da bang, a bang.
You're right.
25 years ago.
That's why I say in my mind, like if as a business owner, what would we do? Do you test first, and then you say, "Whoa, we had 5.8 million guys. Let's put $20 million into it next year." Then you go get and then you put a show. You do certain festivities, activities, so you can both come and watch the game, and you can come maybe next year you rent out an arena, and you play. Get the license from Godel to play the game on the TV, and then do performance there internally so you can watch it. That's probably the model that I would do to mix it up for next year.
This is what you talk about with leaks and opportunities.
Yeah.
Shout out to the BDC crew.
Right.
If you're the NFL and you're going through your business model, leaks and opportunities, you're thinking leak. Dude, we're leaking a whole audience over here. Turning Point is looking at this as an opportunity, and they capitalized on it, and they scored.
I agree. So to me, there was by the way, did you see trans stuff with Bunny?
No.
Did you see LGBTQ stuff?
No.
Yeah, there was.
There was one
There
moment
was a
in the
couple
vehicle.
boys,
some
the
guy
boys,
was
I
riding
saw
some
that.
guys.
Yeah.
But it was very fast.
Did you
What they
see the
had to do.
BLM stuff?
Nope.
Did you see any BLM stuff?
Nope.
Okay. Is that because NFL didn't want to do it, or is that because Trump has been pushing and challenging and everyone's getting their act together?
They're getting
What do
their
you think
act
it
together.
is?
I think
You think it's a little bit of both?
Of course.
Okay,
I
they're
think some
learning what to do,
guardrails
what not
were
to
put
do.
on the production.
All right, so let me go to the next one. By the way, last night when we were talking to Luis Nieto, Taylor's fiance, Luis Nieto is also with David Consulting, and he's telling me, he says, Patrick, you know what's the one thing that I noticed? I said, what's that? He says, when we went to America Business Forum, you know the American Business Forum event we went to?
Yeah.
Mayor
Sushi
Suarez.
spot we went to, Sky Sushi, Sexy Sushi, whatever it's called.
Sexy fish.
So when we went there, he says there was 2 speakers that came up, Vinny, that only did Spanish. He says, we're in the arena. He says the Javier Milei interview was only Spanish. He says Messi's interview was only Spanish. He says the moment they hit the stage, there was a mass exodus. Everybody left. Okay? Everybody left because they don't understand what people are saying. So he's like, the audience is watching the Super Bowl. They're like, dude, I don't know what you're singing. I don't know what you're singing. Could Bad Bunny have done one song in English to just kind of do it? You know what I mean? Like if he would have done that, I think it would have been cool to kind of do
That
it.
would have been
right?
unifying.
I
is
think it
what
would
you're
have.
saying.
But by the way, let me tell you, trust me, I was critical of them choosing Bad Bunny, and again, isolate. Bad Bunny didn't do anything wrong. They gave him the job. He didn't go say, I better do it. So the NFL chose Bad Bunny. Jay-Z chose Bad Bunny. Do you know at the end when he held the football, what it said on the football?
What it say?
Together
Did you
we
see what he said on
stand.
the football? Can you show what it said on the football at the end, Bad Bunny? Here's what he said at the end with the football.
That he spiked.
Together we.
That he spiked at the end. If you look at the football
Gronk
all
spike.
the way at the end, can you? If you just go at the end, go back a little bit. You're about to see it right there.
right here.
Can he come up a little bit. Is he going to show it? Okay, if you just go on online, Rob, and just type in Bad Bunny football message images to see what it says, I think it's actually a pretty encouraging message on what he put on the football at the end. This was a
I'm in
very
suspense right now. What is it?
No, you
say?
got to see what it says. Zoom in. Together we are America.
That's great.
It's good.
That's amazing.
I think that's good. I think that's
Yeah.
good that he put the message on what he did.
And this is very symbolic, and I want to ask you a question. I know you want to move on. They had the American flag first, but they had all these other flags. In my opinion, that's a great thing. You got to make the American flag 100 times bigger than all these other countries. Respect to Puerto Rico, respect to Cuba, respect to Haiti, respect to Jamaica, respect to Venezuela, yada, 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 Dominicana. You put the American flag 1,000 times bigger when you do something like this, and then you can have all the other flags. The issue is, don't put every other flag the same size as the American
It's a
flag.
very valid
And then
point.
here's the question I have for you. There's 2 major sporting events that people tune into where they watch a show, the Super Bowl and the opening to the Olympics. Do you remember the opening to the Parents Olympics?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Trans Jesus.
Absolutely.
How would you compare, contrast?
Italy?
Literally, like 1 through 10, what
Italy
that was?
crushed it.
No. I didn't
Did
even
you
see
see
that.
Italy's opening?
Winter Olympics, nobody watches. But the Summer Olympics, when they did Trans Jesus and all that, give that a score, maybe a perception, versus the NFL.
But by the way, that's why it's under a Biden administration. Wait till you see the opening of the World Cup in the U.S., what it's going to look like.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculously
What do you think?
pro-America.
Who's in charge of that?
Trump.
What do you think's going to happen?
Trump.
You're going to see the most ridiculous show being put up there because it's in. Okay, let me get to a couple other things. Your commercials. Rob, can we go to, let's go to 50 Cent's commercials. I just want to see your reaction, Vinny. Okay?
I can't
just want to see your, and I have a feeling you guys going to get it instantly. This guy is so funny. Rob, go for it.
It's come to my attention that everyone's calling me a troll. Some said even the king of trolls. First of all, I'm flattered. But I'm done with all that. I would never do a deal with DoorDash and quite literally deliver beef when millions of people are watching. I mean, who would do something like that? Delivering quality beef is more of an art than science. Don't want to be too obvious. It's all about time. And I'm always on time. Oh, they sell Combs. What a coincidence. No matter what kind of beef you have going on this weekend, remember DoorDash delivers. And you know what goes great with beef? A bottle of this beautiful Branson cognac, aged 4 years or 50 months. Who's keeping count?
I got all of it, of course.
Did you get all of them?
Beef.
Who's
beef,
ABC?
Beef.
ABC is Mayweather. Remember, you used to say Mayweather doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
He said a
ABC
Harry
is
Potter
Mayweather.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then it's the Comb, Puffy, Combs,
And
right?
his prison
Then it
sentence.
says 50 months or something. Who's counting? 4 years he's going to jail.
Exactly.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Wait, the fact that the NFL allowed this and they chose to do this DoorDash,
Wow.
that's
Well,
a risky commercial.
I know.
50 Cent has now transcended hip hop, and he's become a cultural icon. Two guys come to mind that have done this: Snoop Dogg, arguably the most famous American in the world other than Trump, and now 50 Cent. And 50 Cent has made a living on just trolling everybody and clowning everybody, and he's getting the last laugh. What do you think Diddy's thinking right now in jail, watching the Super Bowl, seeing that? Oh, you mother sucker. 50 Cent.
Can you imagine Diddy's in jail watching 50 Cent?
Literally.
Everybody's like,
Of course.
yeah, everyone's like, hey, man, that's not cool. You know, why would he do such a thing? You know, I don't like 50 doing stuff like, and then some people are probably taking shots, you know.
Oh, for sure.
What'd you think about the commercial?
I love. To be honest with you, on Face, I never really pay attention to it. The subliminal messages, it's pretty freaking. You think he wrote it? You think he wrote it? Or
I don't know if he wrote
had an
it, but
idea.
I think somebody may have given it to him, and he said, hey, I sponsored this. I endorsed this.
He'll take
and then
credit for it.
Coinbase again, we can't play it, Rob, because it's
can't?
singing, right?
Yeah.
We can't play it. But
we
you know what
see it?
Coinbase did? Coinbase literally put up a commercial singing a song that everybody knows. And Vinny, Adam, let me tell you what's going on. I'm literally sitting there, and, you know, we got people over at the house, and next thing you know, first Joel sings the lines. I'm like, why is he singing these songs? Then Vinny's singing. Then, you know, 5 people here are singing. All of a sudden, 25 people are singing this song, and I'm saying, God, a question for you, better answer now. Am I original?
Oh, it's Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Tom, get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I
So, see, by the way, still nobody knows
What's going on?
what the hell is going on.
Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
by the way,
Men to boys over here.
This is going on, and then it's at the end. What does it show?
Coinbase.
Coinbase.
Brilliant.
So I posted,
Great.
I tweeted online, and I said, "Hey, Rob, can you go to this? Is when you know the marketing team is working double time." I went online and I said, "Listen, give the Coinbase marketing team a massive raise. They crushed it again. Everyone was singing. Now go to the bottom and look who commented.
Boom.
Coinbase.
Yeah. That's actually awesome.
So meaning they're doing it right.
Great.
They're
Good for them.
doing it right.
I
Coinbase.
want it that way. How much you think they paid Backstreet Boys to use their song?
Millions. It's a lot.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny.
Oh,
By the
it was
way,
amazing.
if they say to Backstreet Boys, we're going to give you $10 million, Backstreet Boys isn't going to negotiate. they'd be like, we'll take the money.
Give
They
it
need the
to
money.
us.
If not, we'll go contact
Can you
NSYNC.
see if we can find out how much they paid him?
Yeah.
I actually don't think it's that much money.
Probably $1 million.
No, you can do.
Yeah, I think it's a
you can
couple
do
No, you
licensing
got to
and
pay more
clips.
than $1 million for the
How much?
for a Super Bowl ad.
You can find out what this is, but how many acts find out that the record label or the clearinghouse, ASCAP, BMI, that your music got licensed, and then they're upset about it. I do not like the fact that my.
What'd they give him? Pat, you know what this is for the
bucks, so 60 seconds. Yeah, I know, but what did they pay? Does it say how much they doesn't disclose?
It
All
doesn't.
right.
You know what this is for the Backstreet Boys?
Very
It's
good.
like you doing a YouTube video. It's an annuity. This song.
Got them downloads on the Apple.
I mean, this
Spotify.
is a song that hasn't
wait-
been
but
relevant
wait a
in
minute.
20-something years,
Hold on.
and they're still making money
Well,
on
Pat,
it.
think about it, guys. If I'm not mistaken, they weren't playing the actual. No, it was silent. You were just singing along, and just because they're putting the lyrics and they changed it, I don't think you have to pay them.
Did they just
No,
put
you
the?
gotta-
I think it was no. Hold on, Pat. I don't think there was beats. We were just watching and singing. It was quiet.
There was no
Are
music?
you hearing music or what are you hearing, Rob?
What do you mean?
Can you do it on
Meaning
your own?
this
There-
wasn't. I don't even know if the beat was playing, guys.
So it's back. It's like karaoke music. It's the
It's
backing track.
karaoke.
Yeah,
it's not even their actual song.
You'll hear them like in the chorus section, but it's done so that the person singing like karaoke is the prominent voice.
If it's not.
Thanks, Rob. I want to rock your body.
If it's that's all that was happening. I don't know if they had to pay
All
full
right.
price.
Listen,
Smart, even better
great.
for them.
Anything else? Any other commercial or something that stuck out, Tom? Anything else you saw that you liked? The Levi's commercial was okay, right? I didn't think, Vinny, you were too crazy about it. Anything else? The Levi's commercial, the prostate cancer.
The prostate commercial was pretty funny.
That one was
this, Rob?
funny. I
This
really
is the
liked
Epstein
Budweiser.
They did an Epstein commercial?
Yes, the victims
These are
put
the
together.
Epstein victims.
Ooh.
Wait, they did a Super Bowl Epstein commercial?
Yeah.
These are
Is
the
this the
victims.
one
is
that
going
Elon
after-
Musk
oh,
said I
yeah.
would pay
Oh,
for?
yeah.
They did
Let's
an
see this
Epstein
one.
commercial in the Super Bowl?
Yes, this is what the left wants. It's
Wow,
basically
Rob,
targeting.
I haven't seen this, so go ahead.
It better not be to the tune of Rock Your Body.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
Damn.
And who paid for it? Was it Soros?
They
and all those-
call out Pam
Yeah,
Bondi
yeah.
specifically
And mind you,
by name?
Rob, if you can find out who
Where does the
funded
QR
that.
code go to, Rob? Where does the QR code go to?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, I'm curious to
Let me
who
see real
funded
quick
this.
Where this thing goes to.
Keep that there,
And so,
Rob.
Pat, while you guys are
It goes
doing
to
that,
World Without Exploitation.
Matt Walsh tweeted or responded to this because Jim Acosta pointed it, and he said, for those claiming that they can't name names because they'll be sued, they could simply give the names to any of their many and mostly very recent advocates in Congress who could read the names out loud from the floor, insulating themselves and these women from litigation, but they refuse to do so. Why? And then Elon Musk tweeted on top of it and said, I will pay for the defense of anyone who speaks the truth about this and is sued for doing so. So Elon is stepping up. And I just, by the time, while Pat's looking it up, it was kind of, isn't it weird? Like, all these files have been released. The 3 million, okay. None of the names of these victims have been released. Why is it that all the names of all the emails of the men who were involved are redacted? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't want any young females' names. I hope, litigation and everything happens for them and justice is done. How are we ever going to get justice if the government is blacking out every pedophile, underage, pervert, whatever his name? Can you explain that to me?
This isn't about two people. This is about hundreds of people. And hundreds of
Maybe
people
thousands.
making thousands of calls trying to keep this out. That's what's going on. Everybody that's involved, that knows they're involved, is screaming from the rooftops quietly through their lawyer, trying to get things redacted, get it held back. All of these 100 people are in a big circle.
Yep.
And they're all lifting up a gun, pointing it to the head of the person next to them.
Yep.
Everybody in the circle dies as soon as the first person takes a shot. And that's exactly what's going on here. And so it's not a mystery to me. The people that are in the files don't want them to release. And there's a lot of people putting a lot of pressure from a lot of directions. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. And these are victims coming out later saying, I was exploited. I was there. I'm in the files. My picture is showing up in the files. All of this, and we want justice, and we want something to happen. And this is where we are. But this is why Americans, I go back to the same three things that I look at in terms of polling. Americans overwhelmingly feel there are two systems of justice. Americans overwhelmingly feel that when this comes out at this level, nothing will happen. And Americans overwhelmingly have a sub 20% approval rating of Congress and a sub 15% approval rating of mainstream media.
Yes.
That tells you all you would know.
Yeah.
So everybody who doesn't have power, 300 million of them, 330 million of them, once the 30,000 or so, if you add up the lawyers, everybody, to do something. Yeah. And it's not going to happen. And that's why people are upset.
Oh, Tom, unredacted. What? You're not showing the guys that were involved their emails? Mm-hmm. Good. That's what we want to see. Why are you hiding that? I don't want to see any girls' names. Who was the dude that was saying, I want a little kid and I want to do this? And, who? Epstein, I saw another one, Pat. He's buying 33 gallons of sulfuric acid. What is that for? Who is that person? And you know what bothers me, Tom? If they don't unredact them, who's to say? Because, by the way, I used to drink, right? I'm done. I'm finished with the past. Sometimes I see people drinking. I'm like, yeah, man, I remember those times. There's no AA for pedophiles and people that are sick like that. So if you think they've stopped doing it, you're crazy. There's not another Epstein Island, Pat, but they're somewhere doing that again. That sickness doesn't stop. So for the government to black out the names, why are you doing that? You're protecting them? I want to see these people. We deserve it. 3 million. Congratulations. Good for it. I think that ad is a little bit messed up because why did the Democrats care about these 3 million files the past 4 years?
Who funded that? Who funded that ad?
If I had to guess, I saw something with either Open Society, allegedly, I think George Soros and somebody else paid for that commercial, if I'm not mistaken, Rob. But that's what I'm saying. You think those guys stopped sleeping with underage girls? Are you crazy? Who is
it, Rob?
It says, while the direct funding details for the ad are not publicly itemized, similar prior campaigns were financially supported by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman.
Weird.
Hoffman publicly acknowledged his role in funding the earlier ad to push the Epstein file transparency. Really? And even Elon's gone after Hoffman, right?
Yeah,
about his link to Epstein. So Elon is saying he will fund and finance the Rob, what did Thomas Massie say? Because Thomas Massie said, if they don't drop the names, I will, right? Didn't he say something like that?
Right here.
Okay, go for it.
Ready to do that if the victims want me to. They believe that the best way to get justice is to force the DOJ to release these names. I've already read one name in a committee with the FBI director there. That's Jess Staley. And again, he may or may not be guilty, but he's been accused by these victims, the lawyer tells me. And there are other names. I don't have them in my possession, but if the victims want to give them to me, I've expressed that I'm willing to do that. But again, the best way is to force the DOJ to release those names on those 302 forms.
Wow. Got it. So he's pushing them to release, or else I'm going to release. So, Rob, what do we know about the names that haven't been leaked, the contacts, and the additional 3 million files? What do we know about that, Rob?
So apparently Congress is getting the 3 million redacted files that were released last week unredacted. But when they go in, they're not allowed to have any devices with them. They're allowed to take notes on anything they see in those files, but they're not allowed to take photographs.
So not public to us, just public to them to see.
And then the other 3 million remaining files are never going to see the light of day.
Never?
That's according to the Department of Justice. They are not releasing those other 3
million.
million
Did they explain why or no?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if you guys have seen anything else, but that's the latest that I read.
Can you check to see if there's an argument of why they didn't want to release the additional 3 million files? When it comes down to the Epstein files, why would they not want to release the additional 3 million? Look, Thomas Massie's pushing the envelope to find out what's going on. Good for him. A lot of people want to know, and I think he's creating the pressure. Again, this goes back to this was the biggest fumble of the Trump administration, and the responsibility keeps going back to Bondi. The responsibility keeps going back to Bondi. That name keeps. You can say whatever you want, even as a conservative, and say no, but it's not this, but it's not that. This could have been handled in a very different way. Okay, when we had Jared here, And he says, this was one of the campaign promises. No, it wasn't.
Oh, Jared Moskowitz.
Yeah. It was never
yeah.
his promise. It was
true.
a Kash Patel promise.
Yeah.
It was Pam Bondi promise. But it was never a Trump promise. So that was fumbled with the team where they were not on the same page on the way it was done. What does it say, Rob, on why the additional is not being released?
Victim privacy and safety, illegal content, legal privileges and exemptions, and then ongoing investigations.
Got it. Adam.
Well, here's what's really going on here. Did you see this news of who's willing to speak now? Bill Clinton. Did you see this story?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we talked about last week when Hillary Clinton said, yeah, let's do it. Let's not do it anything in private. Let's go. Now you got Bill Clinton, who, if there's any name that has been more seen with Epstein than anybody, it's Bill Clinton. He says the following: I have called for the full release of the Epstein files. I have provided a sworn statement of what I know. And just this week, I've agreed to appear in person before the committee, but it's still not enough for Republicans and the House Oversight Committee. He also said this: if we want to do this, if they really want answers, let's stop playing the games and do this the right way in a public hearing where American people can see for themselves what it's really about. Enough with this kangaroo court. When Bill Clinton answers the call and says, yeah, I'll meet you after school at 3 o'clock, you better take him up on his word here, because this is what America wants to see. Isn't this what you want to see?
Yeah, but
if you want some must-see TV, if you want accountability, Bill, Hillary, Gates, this person, that person, get him in a room, ask him the questions. Because you know who's the one person you're not going to be able to ask questions? Epstein. Despite what Candace Owens thinks that he's alive in Tel Aviv somewhere, he's probably dead, guys. Can we agree on that?
Probably.
I'm sorry you missed Hillary at the Benghazi hearings.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Tom?
Go back and look at Hillary at the open hearing that was filmed. Look what's going to happen.
Nothing.
Look at
by
how
the way,
she handled
by the way,
that.
I didn't miss that. Of course, I saw that 20 years ago, but that's different from this. Nobody cared about Benghazi. They made Benghazi a big issue. Everybody cares about Epstein.
Wait, hold on. You don't. Wait,
so
you can't,
those two things are not the same.
Well, you can't say Benghazi wasn't an issue because she.
What's a bigger issue, Epstein or Benghazi?
No, hold on.
Just say one word.
Hold on, Adam. Give me one. Let me
Can you
explain
just
myself.
answer
Talking
that?
about congressional hearings. That's what it was about.
Okay.
She gave
now
up on.
Benghazi's bigger than Epstein.
Oh my
Got
God,
it.
here we go.
Got it.
Adam, she
Oh,
let
he
soldiers
reframes
die.
it. You're such
she
a
let
punk.
American
So
soldiers
You're such
die.
a punk.
What's a bigger issue?
Adam.
You're such a punk.
Bigger
Just say
issues
one word.
as a soldier, as a military
Okay,
soldier.
so I just found out
Do
that
you know? Hold
Benghazi's
on. Do you
bigger than
know what
Epstein.
she? Hold on,
Got it.
Adam. I'm saying I could deal with issues separately. What she did at Benghazi, she ignored all the calls from Chris Stevens. All right, he got freaking killed and he was begging for help, but she was emailing Sidney Blumenthal about Libya and all that stuff.
And they had all that. And what happened at the hearing?
Nothing happened. Hold on, Adam. Let me finish what you're saying.
Just running in
You
circles.
think
they just volunteered to testify.
Adam, I'll wait for you to finish.
Take the
Because
win.
you're talking nonsense.
They didn't volunteer to
Didn't
testify.
volunteer
They said they'd show up at a
Adam,
hearing.
tell me when you want me to
Testify or
talk.
not?
Tell me when you want me to talk.
Never.
Okay. Guess what? Bill
Obviously,
Clinton,
you're such a
and Hillary,
bully.
Billy,
You can't have a debate.
Tom,
You're
the
such
two-
a bully.
The
People
two
wonder
of you
why I
are
scream.
arguing with me. Who's the bully? The one guy or the two
And then
guys?
people
Oh,
ask-
come
the strong
on,
guy,
but
the old man.
let them make their
When
points
people
because I want to
say,
see
why
the
does
point.
Vinny, guys, why is Vinny screaming? And just let me finish my point. You think Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton saying, we'll do it out in the open. You think they're being serious? Just like Reid Hoffman paying for a commercial for the survivors going, we want to say something. They all know they'll never come out because that means everybody has to come out. There has to be discovery for everybody. Bill Clinton is never going to talk. He's never going to go out in the open and talk. They're going to put him in a room, Adam, because none of them get in trouble. And this is why God did what he did in the Old Testament, because of heathens and demons like this, Adam. This is it. This is flooding, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the flooding of the world because evil was in charge, okay? I could separate what Hillary did sitting like this in Congress, and she said, what difference does it make that United States soldiers died because she was crappy at her job? I could differentiate that and Bill Clinton, who's the most prolific guy on all the visits, all the White House, all the emails, all the videos we saw with him, with all these girls.
Yeah.
Sure. And what are we talking about? So you can't say, Bill Clinton saying, let's do it on the open. He knows they'll never do it because he's the guy. He's the culprit. Okay, you're never going to find out about John Podesta and his brother and all the
Oh, you're going to hear
that
names,
was nuts.
You'll hear names.
Oh, yeah, you're going to hear names.
You'll
Can I
hear
ask
the
you the
subject
question now
change.
since I listened?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to yell to make my point.
No, well, I have to yell because you kept
Wow, there's
talking
a
over me.
first.
Do you want to see Bill or Hillary testify? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you going to see them in public? Never. Adam, they're going to put them in a basement, and they're all,
Bro,
Adam, they're
I
all
asked
in
for
it
a
together.
yes or no question.
Are they going
Okay.
to testify where? In public?
Do you want to see them publicly testify?
Yes,
or no?
yes.
Then we're on the same
Well,
page,
Adam, but will
guys.
it happen? I'm being realistic.
I'm not going down the path of will it happen. Let them agree upon it first, and then let's see what happens.
But let me ask you a question then. Do you think, Adam, here's my question.
Let's
What's
see
the
them
percentage?
testify.
Let me say this. What's the percentage, honestly, that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are going to sit in an open forum, like how she did at Benghazi, and they're going to say this. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What? Oh, yeah. Bill flew to the island. Was he with an underage girl? Maybe. I plead the fifth. What's the percentage of them doing it in front of a camera?
Of course they're going to deflect, but like
no, they're going to do it.
You can't have your cake and eat it too,
That's not the
guy.
question I asked.
Do you want them to testify or no?
Yes, and then you didn't answer
and then
my
let's
question.
leave it there.
Answer my
And then
no.
let Congress ask them the tough questions.
Oh yeah, I trust Congress. Adam.
Then he's not coming in and asking, "Hey, Bill, are you a demon or not?" Do you want them to testify or not?
Okay.
I think
If the Clintons are agreeing to be there, there's something wrong.
We're on the same page.
But let me answer my question. What's the percentage in your mind that they're actually going to go in front of a camera and do it? Give me your percentage.
Well, let's get to the
You're
point.
not answering answer the question. Or is it going to happen? Because I'll tell you right now, it's zero.
Okay, so
zero.
Don't even
You're
invite
lying
them.
to yourself. You're lying to yourself.
We're both agreeing that we want to see him testify, but
Yeah,
you're going on a
there's
ridiculous
a lot-
diatribe
there's a lot
on why
been-
they shouldn't testify.
There's a
Pick
lot
side,
that's
guy.
been said. I will tell you, when Benghazi happened, that was a massive deal at the time.
Of
Adam.
course, but
that
it's
was
not
a
Epstein.
massive. By the way, it's not Epstein. You're right. But even a few months ago, 6 months ago, whatever the timeline was, you're the same person that said, "I could care less about Epstein. This is not on the priority list. This is not this. This is not that. I want to be policy."
Thank you. It's still not in my top
I understand,
3 things.
but for you to say Epstein is bigger than Benghazi, Benghazi was massive when it happened because we lost our guys.
Yep.
And then when she made that one comment after 8 or 9 hours,
Guys.
and she said, "What difference does it make?" We all saw that.
Rob,
Saw
please
that.
run a poll and ask our audience what they care about more.
Oh, it's Epstein. Oh,
or
he ran it
Benghazi?
already. He already ran it. It's Epstein.
Oh, so
Obviously.
Of course it's Epstein.
What were the results?
3,000 people have voted. 65% Clinton's Epstein testimony,
course.
35%
Okay, so what are we
Benghazi.
talking about, Vinny?
No.
Like,
we
what do you mean, what am I talking
We
about?
agree, but at the time,
Yeah.
you have to realize if you flip it, say Epstein was 10 years ago, Benghazi is today. What's more important? People are typically going to
Yes.
vote for whatever's current today
course.
instead of what was 10 years ago.
Ask them
But
what's bigger, Epstein or COVID. Let's see what they
that's
say about
exactly
that.
the point. It's going to go to whatever's
I
more
would
important.
hope that it's COVID.
It is. No, it's not. It's going to
No,
be
it's going to
what's
be Epstein because
present.
it's hot right now.
It's hot right now. It's what they're going to choose. Anyways, okay. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Look, I like the fact that Massie's pushing. Okay, and this whole thing with what's his name? You know, Epstein being alive or not being alive, and you know the pictures that are going around with him.
Yeah.
What percentage do you say that he is alive?
Walking around in public?
What percentage do you say he's alive?
The closest number to zero possible.
Okay, where do you put it?
0.0001%.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because they took 30 seconds out, and when they never showed his photo of his body, they always showed a crazy
What do
angle.
you say?
I say
Percentage?
20%. He's
Tom,
probably
where
still
you at?
walking around. 20. 20%.
In
Show me
public
the
like
30
this?
seconds. That's not hit. That's an AI.
I
photo.
think there's less than 5% chance he's still walking around.
Well,
Okay, so that's
I mean,
kind
that
of where
would
you
be.
are.
Where
They
you
said
at,
the same thing. By the way, they said the same thing about Ken Lay. Ken Lay went to Colorado, died, and he was Bush's friend. He was cremated in Colorado, and then he disappeared. And is he really walking around in Belize? The conspiracies
let me
come
tell
out.
you- let
he's
me tell
here.
you a couple
It
things.
started with Elvis. Elvis is still
Let me tell you a
alive.
couple.
Tupac, they still
Let me
think
tell
he's
you a couple things. So yesterday, Benny Johnson posts a picture. Okay, Rob, if you can pull up Benny Johnson's picture, this you have to realize what world we're living in. Benny Johnson, go on his Instagram account. 'Cause I don't know if it's going to be on there. Benny Johnson posts this picture that was going viral all over the place. Okay, and when you looked at this picture, right there, you see how Bad Bunny to the left burning the American flag?
Yeah.
Click on that. Okay, look at that picture. Coming soon to halftime. I don't like that.
Is that a real picture?
No, it's not.
Oh.
But that's the point. The first reaction you had is that a real picture? How many people you think believe that's a real picture? How many people you think when they see that on Benny's follow and think that's a real picture?
Yeah.
That's a deep fake picture. So we're living in a time, and by the way, there's another one that he's stepping out and all this other stuff. We're living in a time that you have to look at everything and have Grok double check with ChatGPT, because one of them, like, look, even the video with the president that posted, you know which video I'm talking about? The video with, you know, in the jungle, that whole video. Okay. And you have to watch the video. Rob, if you want to put this video, so they probably didn't QC this. Click on this, Rob, let it play.
Machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan
Watch this, folks.
was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, the mini machines, ESS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Okay. So then that video comes up. Okay. So guess what the president didn't do? They didn't QC the whole thing at the end. And they retweeted that video. Okay. And the president was asked about it. By the way, if you've seen the whole video, Rob, if you can play the whole video.
But the music I would love.
Without the music. Yeah. Okay. And just visualize, you know, that the song is being played in the background. Just turn off the music. Go ahead. So that's Barack and Michelle. Okay. And then it goes to Hillary Clinton. Is that Jeffries? Yeah. AOC. And is that Newsom?
Yeah.
That's a bad Newsom. That's Pritzker and what's his name?
Adam Schiff.
Schumer and Mamdani. Okay. Biden and Kamala Turtle. Okay. It's funny. Jeffries is back singing. Okay. And then there's the lion in the jungle. Okay. And the president shows up. He's the lion. Who's that? The pig? Is that anybody, Rob, or no?
I think it's a content creator chick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got it. So anyway, so is
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah. So you got. So this is the whole clip. Whoopi is also in there. Anyways, they're not missing anybody. You can pause it right there. So this video is posted. Okay. How much you think the president knew? By the way, here's his reaction to it. Go ahead, Rob.
But I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%. Go ahead. Mr. President.
Yeah, Tim Scott said this is the most racist thing he's ever seen. I think that's what he said.
And then this is the full comment.
Go for it.
So, do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President. Media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud. And I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. You know. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning.
You can pause it right there.
Fine.
You can pause it right there. Okay. Intentional, accidental, what do you think?
Well, first of all, by the way, has anybody ever seen Donald Trump on a phone, on a cell phone, tweeting or nothing? As everybody knows, he's telling people what to do. They kind of write it in the moment. They edit it, and then they post it. From what you're seeing, it's somebody is watching a video, and then they scroll, and then they go back down by accident. I don't know when that AI video was made. The person puts their @ sign on there. But if you think about it, if that was just a regular video from Donald Trump, nobody would ever see the cheating video, correct? Yeah, they're cheating. The machines are rigged. 2020, we keep hearing stuff. Tulsi Gabbard's in Georgia. They're getting all these ballots. Now, because of that, it might have been intentional, because if you think about it, now everybody has to watch that video and hear about cheating, and then boom, that came up and then went away. So that means everybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent, you had to watch that video. So in a messed up way, it might have been intentional because now all the attention is there. Because when I watched that, Pat, I went and another video came up from that on X. Rob, can you play this video? This was in 2020. Remember that jump that happened, that chart that went like this, and then Joe Biden got 100 and
hockey stick.
A hockey stick, which is it's never happened before. So that led me think about it. What if I don't know about any of this cheating? Rob, can you play this video really quick? This is from America Stands, and listen to what this guy's saying.
There was not a Trump vote in there.
Look, not
they
one
all
Trump vote.
And you do not have a place in any state. Maybe Dixville's Notch, where there were 5 voters at the first thing, and they all 5 voted for Biden. Maybe there.
You know who that
but
is?
not
That's
when you
David
have something
Barton.
of 138,000. You don't all break that way. And it still shouldn't be linear, because you have so many counters that are counting across the way that they're all tallying and reporting, and you don't bunch them in and report one thing. So that doesn't look right for the process. It certainly does not look right for the fact that there is no place of 138,000.
Guy named David Barton.
Brilliant. And he basically, so think about this. I'm not saying it's a good thing that it happened, but you never know when it comes to this freaking administration. Because of that, that was the next video on my feed. And I went, wait a minute. That's actually, that chart, it's impossible for that to happen, which is the main part of the video is that they cheated in 2020.
Tom, what do you think? You think
did
they knew?
So did the president know? Thank you, Vinny.
Yep.
So did the president know? Do I think he knew that there was a voter, the Dominion video? Yeah, I think he knew that. We've seen pictures of him sitting with the staffer talking about how the tone he'd like to have on certain tweets. The White House has given America a glimpse into that to see how the president does it. But with everything that's going on and the number of tweets and the number of comms that comes out of the White House and it comes out on True Social, does he see everyone? No. I think the person that put it there, I think that was a staff problem and put it at the back. They thought it would be funny, but it was the voter fraud tweet. I believe he knew about it, but I think the staffer blew it, because that, even when Trump trolls and trolls hard, that's two different things.
What percentage of his tweets you think he doesn't tweet?
I think there's probably a third to a half that are from comms that are on message, and then there's some of the hard.
I disagree. You know what's the what platform? 100% of what's posted is me today. It could change in 10 years. 100% of everything you see on X is me. 100% of what you see from PBD Podcast Instagram, it's not me. Matter of fact, nothing on PBD Podcast Instagram, it's me. It's all stuff that's cut, clip, and it's posted there, right? Personal Instagram, today I'm not that active on personal Instagram, but on personal Instagram, if we do cut clips and I'll say post it, 90% of what you see on Instagram is me. 10% is because they cut it, they post it, right? To me, I do think that's him. Then I have to go to the part about, because, you can't one side give credit and then the other side be like, well, no, it's not. I don't think. No, I think it's, and I'll come to you. To me, I think it is him. The other part is, it's not a big deal. Just put it in there. Do I think the trolling side of Trump would like to put that? And remember, that could have been any other animal. It could have been any other animal and nobody would have reacted to it. It could have been on a dog, on a horse, on because it's monkey, it's what allows them to go back and do all this other stuff. Now, any other president would have known how to handle it. Trump knows how to handle it and he moves on. And this will be a done story within the next couple of days. And you got to give credit to Caroline Leavitt that, Rob, you were bringing it up this morning, the fact that she said, hey, they're doing this after Dow hit 50,000 for the first time in the history of America. And that day when AI was a massive drop and $600 billion of money was lost because of AI companies, boom, recovered, Dow hits 50,000. But they kind of want to get away from that as well. So both can be right. I do think, folks, let me tell you, we have 12 codes that we follow in the company here. At Bet David Consult, at Valuetainment, 12, okay? And we have a full-on culture deck. When people that work with our company, they go through this culture deck. Rob, if you want to go to vtmerch.com, for people that want to get a culture deck, people started asking about it, and we said if you want to buy it, people can literally see what we do with our culture deck here for $20. It's the manual of what we do with our culture in our company. And one of the 12 points that we do here with the company, you know what it is? QC everything. QC everything. We QC in finance. We QC in, production. We QC in Bet David Consulting, in Connect, everything. And by the way, every single time there's a mistake, guess what happens? It's due to a what? A lack of QC. What's QC? Quality control, right? We get it with every single clip. There was a massive QC issue with, what was that interview we did in Brazil? And
Jair Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro, there was a massive QC issue. Guys, Rob, how massive was that one?
Oh, pretty bad.
Massive. So everybody makes these mistakes, but if you want to find out what it is, Rob, put the link below for people to be able to find it easily on the culture deck. But for me, this is a QC issue. Mm-hmm. I put 80, 90% QC, and there's 10% of me that he thought it would create enough noise, Vinny, going back to your point, to say I think what people will go look at the other stuff on seeing what happens. Adam, final thoughts.
I'll just say this. This was double dumb, at the very least. At the very most, this was stupid and racist. So are you kidding me? QC, whatever you want to call it, unforced errors, shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to put a video where you want to draw attention to voter fraud, and you're going to put the Obamas as monkeys? Are you stupid? Somebody should be fired. And that's fine. I've been very acknowledging of how great I think the Trump administration is doing. This might be up there with one of the dumbest things they've done. And I'll tell you why. Everyone accuses Trump of being racist. He's not racist. He's got black people. He's got Latino people. He's got gay person, Scott Besson. He's not racist. You hear the stories of why he's not racist. But this is going to tell people, I told you he was racist. I told you he thought. And are you kidding me? This is so stupid and bigoted and dumb. And I don't think this is Trump's fault. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. This is going to come to him. And now nobody's talking about voter fraud. They're talking about what you did to the Obamas. And I'll give one last point to the Trump team. Go after the Clintons. Nobody cares. Go after Kamala. She's a fool. Go after Sleepy Joe. Stop attacking the Obamas. But there's no benefit to attacking the Obamas. Whether you disagree with them politically or not, they're still beloved in America. Among black people, among liberals, there's even some conservatives that at least respect the type of father he is, type of person he is. So there's a lot of people that are upset by this.
Guy connected me yesterday. Guy connects me yesterday, and he said something very interesting to me yesterday. I don't want to give his name out because he's very active and he sends me some unique messages. He says, you noticed who wasn't on the Epstein files? I said, who? He says, notice Netanyahu wasn't in the Epstein files. I said, where are you going with this? I'm not doing none of these additional Netanyahu is this, Netanyahu is a great, all this other stuff. He says, no, he wasn't in the Epstein file. Do you know why? I said, why? He said, Barack Obama worked so hard to make Israel's left win. Ehud Barak, was he a Republican or was he a Democrat? Would he be considered
he was more on the left.
He was more on the left.
Yeah.
Was Epstein more on the left or the right?
Left.
Was Clinton more on the left or the right?
Left.
So if you notice a pattern here, okay, the people on pattern here, even Trump, when he had a relationship with Epstein, what side was Trump on when he had a relationship with Epstein? Back in the days when he would go, he was on the left. Trump was a Democrat.
He openly said he gave them money. They gave them what they wanted.
But he openly said he was a Democrat, and then he chose to run as a Republican. So there's some, and by the way, the reason why, and then I asked him a question. I said, I get what you're saying with Netanyahu not being on the Epstein files. I said, guess what the liberals are also saying? What? Obama wasn't on the Epstein files. So where is that at? He says, well, that was intentional because it is. So there's a lot of stuff. And then there's a lady that came out. I don't know if you guys saw this clip or not. Lady came out and said, Rob, if you have this clip, she said, you're a loser if you weren't on the Epstein files. Did you guys see this clip?
No.
This lady comes out. Rob, I think you have it. I have it somewhere right here. Go ahead, Rob. Watch this. You got to do the audio again.
Everybody that was very powerful. So like if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like to be honest, like if you're not in those files, it would be an insult because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the files?
Well, of course I am, because it's any journalist that wrote about it.
That's an astonishing attitude.
Astonishing, and said it like that.
You can pause it right there, Vinny. Go ahead.
And well, Adam, we're talking about when you said, by the way, let me say this first, horrible. obviously putting the monkeys and doing all that. And by the way, it was a scroll. It's not like they made the video. The video's been on the internet for God knows how long.
You're the president of the United States, buddy. You should have 15 people checking your social media.
Adam.
You already had a chance to say that it was dumb, but now you want to retract your statement?
No, I'm not saying that. No.
Go ahead.
I'm not retracting a damn thing because I'm about to check you for saying
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Don't mess with the Obamas.
Let him finish.
Don't mess with the Obamas. You're talking about the same Obama that is the one that had the meeting at the White House with Hillary, with Brennan, with Comey and everybody and said, we're going to take this fake dossier and we're going to try to destroy and take the will away from the American people who voted for Trump. He was the one that was spying on him. He started all of it while he was still sitting in the White House. So guess what? To hell with Obama. He put us through 5 years of Russia collusion. Dude, I lost friends. I stopped talking. Family members started hating me. He's a poo and puppet, all that stuff. So to hell with him, okay? Obama, what he did to this freaking country. And the fact that Trump won fair and square. You want me to feel bad for Obama for what he put us through, for everything that he did? Adam, I'm not condoning what was done, but you think Trump's going to apologize for anything when it comes to Obama? He made his life a living hell. And who was in charge during Biden administration? Who do you think? Remember when Obama said, if there was a way for me to put an earpiece in my ear and sit in the basement, that's what he was doing.
And have a third term. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Well, who was in charge, Adam? Yep. So that's the reason where Trump is like, I don't give a damn about Obama. Okay, he ruined him. He started the whole thing.
No, I think he has to go after Obama.
Yeah,
I think he has to go after Obama.
Me too.
And the reason why, Adam, I think he has to go after Obama is, here's how this works. If you go for the head of the throne, if you go for the head of the snake, if you go for who is the top right now? It's not the Clintons.
No.
They're old-timers.
Yeah.
By the way, even Democrats are no longer defending them. Who is left? Who does he have to destroy for the left to lose credibility? Don't forget, Obama did everything in his power to make sure these guys didn't win. He colluded on their election, on what was going on, their campaign. This is and Trump's not going to forget. The one thing about hardcore competitors, and I'm talking psycho competitors, not competitors. Psycho competitors. I went up against this one guy in the insurance business. He was a psycho competitor. Both of us are. One day after the whole thing was done, and the same company bought both of us, we're sitting there having conversation together, and we're reminiscing about the games both sides played.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's telling me his stuff. I'm like, listen, what you did there was very dirty. He starts cracking up. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you know what you did? He's like, but you did this, but what about this? And what about, so we're kind of going back and forth. I'm like, look, I get it. But either way, it was nasty, right? I think take the game out, take the cameras out. They're sitting together, they're laughing at each other, okay? Meaning they're laughing together and they're telling these stories because they're both psycho competitors. But if you actually play the game, Trump has to destroy Obama. He has to. That idea has to be gone. The fact that his ideology and all, if he's playing the game for 2026, 2028, he has to do that. And the part that he doesn't have to do is this monkey business. This is stuff you don't have to. What are you doing? This is noise stuff. By the way, if I'm the opposing side, you just made it so easy for me to call you anything I want for 2026, 2028 midterms. It's easy. Now I can say you're racist. Now I can say this stuff. So I think that's a part of it where you don't want to give them an ounce. They're going to run with it. So that part I agree with. I want to get to the next story here. Next story I want to get to, which is kind of weird. We've all been following this story very closely because it's tragic when you hear siblings sitting there and all of a sudden their mother is missing. At how old is she? 84 years old?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And this incident happens, and then the more and more you keep seeing stuff, the link, when it happened, when the announcement was made. Apparently, the people that have their mother is now asking for, did you say, Rob, $6 million in Bitcoin is what they're asking for? And then there's a we're willing to pay, we're willing to do this, we're willing to do that. Rob, which clip is this? This is
Savannah Guthrie talking about paying the ransom.
Okay, go for it, Rob. Go ahead.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Okay, Vinny, thoughts?
Okay, well, obviously tragic story, but at the end of the day, when something this massive happens, Tommy, I have to be like, why? Why her? Why Savannah on this level of this stage?
Right.
And I just want people to know that there's a fact. Savannah Guthrie, she's in the Epstein files. Rob, can you please put this up? Rob, can you show it? And by the way, this is all my assumption, this is all my allegation, but she's in the Epstein files. And if you could go up, Rob, right there. This is, I don't know who this is, Pat. I'm assuming because they redacted everything on the highlighted yellow and keep going down. Click on that one right there. Pat, if you read this, they obviously black redacted everything.
Can't see anything. You can read it.
I got you. Just wanted to give you a heads up. She's done another interview with Savannah Guthrie. I'm assuming they're talking about Virginia Guthrie. In that, she said the following. She was interviewed by the FBI in 2011 by a blank. In the interview, she gave the names of all the girls she helped to traffic. All right. She also interviewed the SDNY, no time frame. 2 other women also tell DOJ that Epstein specifically trafficked them to other men. Number 4, there are cameras in the New York City house and others where he could watch people in the bathroom and elsewhere. They're planned to air it on Today and this Friday's Dateline, okay? Another fact, Savannah Guthrie is the first mainstream television journalist to interview an Epstein survivor. And then in 2015, again, this is all my speculation, Pat. I'm just out there going down this freaking rabbit hole. NBC executives, I'm pretty sure, knew that they released that. They're going to have to deal, Dateline was going to have to deal with, litigation and all that stuff. And then they had another thing called Reckoning, where a documentary on Dateline with all the Epstein survivors, that was going to lead to all this craziness. Now, Savannah Guthrie gave Virginia Guthrie a national platform and a voice to make these allegations that reached the highest levels of power. And if you guys remember, who was the main person that they were talking about? You guys remember? Prince Andrew. That was the number one, and they were going after him. And imagine all the stuff that came after him. But another thing, separately, Savannah Guthrie's husband, Michael Feldman, worked in the Clinton White House for 8 years. He served as the deputy assistant to President Bill Clinton as a senior comms and policy aid guy. His responsibilities were internal operations, message coordination, political strategy. And then after leaving, her husband co-founded the Glover Park Group. It's a Democratic-aligned public relations and consulting firm. Pat, you know what they basically do? They go around, Tom, and if there's stuff about you that they need to fix, they clean up your image and all that type of stuff. So I think right now, what we could be witnessing is not just an abduction, it's psychological warfare being used. Again, my speculation, but what if this is a form of institutional retaliation against someone who helped those figures? It's not random that she's in the files. It's not random that she interviewed Virginia. It's not random that she interviewed all these people. And you know what? I did a little digging. Do you guys remember who was another person towards the end of his life that was openly criticizing our government with handling of the Epstein files? Do you guys remember? What do you guys remember? Charlie Kirk. On July 14th, remember Trump came out and said, if you guys are doing this, you don't support me, I'm not with you. You remember that? That was July 14th. He told everybody to back off. That same day, Charlie Kirk said, I'm done talking about Epstein. And then guess what? On July 15th, the very next day, he flipped and he demanded that the files were going to be released and covering Epstein for nearly an hour on his show. An hour. And then less than 2 months later, I think it was 50-some days, Pat, he was dead. And this is him. This is the clip.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I was just going to ask, what's your point?
Look at the connections. The girl that gave the platform to survivors, that exposed Prince Andrew, that blew the lid off. Guys, we never even heard of survivors, bro. We didn't know any of them existed until she gave them the platform. Okay, she gave them the platform. Maybe they wanted her husband to help because by the way, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are supposed to go and speak in front of Congress, this month, Tom? It's kind of
not if you have a say to it.
Well, I think it's connected. I think it's kind of connected. Why of all
what,
people,
what
her
do you think
mother?
is the connection?
Because she's the one.
I'm genuinely giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, yeah.
What are you saying exactly?
I'm saying she.
Like in a sentence.
My speculation is they're sending a message. You're giving them the platform. You gave these girls a voice. You're doing this. Maybe they asked her husband, who runs this firm. He's a partner at Glover Park Group, which helps Democrats, Adam, with their image and stuff. Maybe they asked him to help clean up and help with this thing, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not going to do it." This happens. There's no way. How is she randomly in the Epstein files?
Let me send you a clip
it all
I
makes
found.
sense now.
But
It kind of is connected.
Let me do this.
It's all connected.
Let me send you a clip from the lady Savannah and Trump, their history. I think this is the part that you have to hear, where the crisis happened on a day that's very, very weird. There's cops lined outside of their house the entire time trying to find out what the hell is going on. This is weird. Some people are even saying, could it be an inside job? So a lot of different angles people are taking, right? That maybe their own family did this for a different reason. I'm not saying that's the truth. All I'm saying is, but this is the history of Savannah Guthrie with President Trump. Go ahead, Rob.
Satanic cult run by the deep state.
Watch this.
I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Senator Ben Sasse said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories. Why not just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you another thing.
Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy, I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree with it.
But there's not a satanic pedophile cult being run
idea. I know nothing
You don't know that?
Okay. No, I don't know
you
that.
Just
and
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this week.
Neither do you. He's given the right answer.
Why aren't you asking me about the radical left?
Because you're
why aren't you asking Joe Biden questions about why doesn't he condemn Antifa? Why does he say it doesn't exist?
Because you're here before.
Back in 2024 during the election.
Watch.
I'm sorry.
Let it keep going.
She was attacking him left and right. I mean, talking to
I think there's
a former president of the United States.
You can pause it right here because there's a lot of clips between the two
100%.
and how the stuff that they said didn't exist came out to be true in many different areas. Then this is the one that's very creepy, folks. I'm sure you've seen this. The letter she's reading is verbatim from what the lady in the movie Silence of the Lambs said when they were talking about kidnappers.
Her daughter.
Wow.
Tell me this isn't creepy. Watch this.
She is full of kindness.
Catherine is very gentle and kind.
Talk to her and you'll see.
Talk to her and you'll see.
What? Wait. I mean, this is a little weird.
And it went on. There's actually a longer clip of it. And so my point is, think about this. What are the odds, Adam? What are the odds that Savannah Guthrie, she's in the Epstein files where it looks like Jeffrey Epstein is talking to somebody powerful saying she's going to go here, she's going to talk about this, she's going to talk about that. Then her husband worked for Clinton for 8 years, okay, leaves, goes to another company, partners up with a company that helps Democrats with their image and all that stuff. And then now the Clintons are testifying about the Epstein stuff this month. How do you not see a connection of somehow, somewhere, and then she's over here yelling at Trump? What, you're talking about there's demons and whatever, is a pedophile satanic group? Yeah, there is. There is. What other type of human being sleeps with underage girls, allegedly buries them or puts them in sulfuric acid, kills them, they have trap doors and they throw them to the freaking sharks? It's like, when are we going to stop pretending that evil is real? That evil is real and it's happening in front of our faces. I think that once we stop playing that game, then nothing is off the table. Because you can't not see the connection. She was the biggest, she put the victim of Prince Andrew, a prince, and put her on the freaking, and sat there. You don't think NBC was like, oh my God, we're gonna get litigation. But she's like, we have to do it. You don't think this is a retribution? You don't think these people pay you back? You know, she's lucky she's not hanging from a tree in her house with a shotgun shot to her chest and there's no shotgun found, like Mark Middleton. She's lucky. She's lucky, and I pray that they find her mom. But this is all connected, bro. That's me.
Adam,
I don't think it's a family member.
I don't know if Tom, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes. So when you go public with a kidnapping, these statements are not written by you in emotion and stress. Mm-hmm. These states are written by professionals that work with the law enforcement that are writing the message back to you because they are trying to do one thing. They're trying to get your person back, but they're also trying to set hooks or identify where they can catch the captors. Preserve life is number one, because the law enforcement will look at you and say, look, if you want to pay the ransom, you're risking on losing this money, and all you're going to get back is, a body at some point, if then. And so this, I believe, and I'm 90% on this, This was written by somebody in law enforcement. Now, did that person in law enforcement write the same thing from Silence of the Lambs? If they did, that's pretty lazy. But I'll also tell you this. These movies, I mean, I lived in L.A., Pat lived in L.A. I knew people that used to do law enforcement research for the show Law and Order. Pat, do you know how much they spent on research? They had consultants because they said, hey, we want to show the courtroom scene, we want to show this, but it's got to be accurate. It's got to be true. We want the procedure to be right. We want it to look authentic. And so if Silence of the Lambs, if they, took the time and done research to portray this correctly, and then the person that's working with Savannah Guthrie in law enforcement copied it, number one, I think that's lazy, but it does line up with exactly what law enforcement would want you to do. So I think this was not surprising to me. There is one fact. Everyone, including law enforcement, seems to agree an elderly woman was abducted. There's blood at the scene. And from there, those are the facts. Now, everything else, are these ransom notes real? Is this a copycat? We don't know that.
And $6 million of Bitcoin is the ransom.
Because remember, in most of these, I hate to cast a bad light on this, Pat, but how many of these have you seen that they think it's this, they think it's that, it turns out to be it's a family member? Angry family members or angry friends that have broken something is usually the first path on here. It goes back to Scott Peterson. It goes back to
always
cases like
always
this.
First, but yeah,
not always, but there's a really high percent that it was inside the circle of family and friends and community, and someone's upset. So she's missing. There's blood. And I don't know. And I can't make the call on whether the ransom notes are accurate or a copycat. What if but there's some weird things going on that just shows you the law enforcement is just looking everywhere. They pulled stuff out of a mailbox. They were looking in a septic tank. Yeah. It shows that what law enforcement is doing with that is saying, what if it was a friend, family member, or a quick kill, and we're just looking for a body?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said speculation, Tom, but it is kind of weird that I'm not being Kevin Bacon 6 degrees. It's just obvious. She was the one. She was the one. And now the Clintons are about to testify. I don't know. Well, I mean, I pray for her. I hope she's okay.
I respect what you're saying, but there's a lot of dots there, and Vinny, to be honest,
people
and there's
don't like
a lot, and there's a lot of journalists that are in this same realm. I mean, if this theme is there, then you would have a high-profile conservative journalist like a Sean Hannity, somebody coming after him. I'm not saying, I'm not suggesting, but I'm saying.
I got you, Tom. I get it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Tom, go for it. Adam, go for it.
Okay. Well, let me just kind of cut through the noise. And as much as I love you, Vinny, there was a lot of noise there, but I do appreciate you literally going down the rabbit hole like you said you would. So I have not followed this at all, so I'll just be simple. Number one, this is not some sort of business transaction. This is an old woman who's being held hostage. On its face, that's what's going on. There may be extracurricular things going on. There's time to decide that.
Maybe.
Number two, the whole goal why they're using the Silence of a Lamb situation is because there's a playbook here. Number one, you need to humanize the person that's being held captive. She's kind, she's sweet, she's a mother, she's a grandmother. Please return my mother back to me is the same thing that anyone would say if their mother or grandmother was being held hostage. Number three, the basic rule is you don't negotiate with terrorists. These people are terrorists, most likely, domestic terrorists, if you want to call them that. And I think it's going to end up very ugly for these people because the last thing that these people want is to be just living with an old lady for the next 6, 12, 18 months. So they're doing this for the money, and let's see what the authorities, I'll agree with Tom here, the authorities are running this, not the Guthrie family.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. There's a lot of weird things to it, and, anytime you're doing things, your job is to be able to consider everybody. Typically, they're going to look at, could it be an inside thing? Could it be somebody that's on the inside that's doing this? But because it's 84, and it's not like they're living in a house that's that outlandish that they're going to come in. There was the patterns of typical. It's very weird. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. And we'll come back and revisit it. And when we get newer stories that's coming up with this year. Let me get to the next story here because we got a lot of them. Mamdani is out there quoting the Quran to support Sanctuary City. Quran and the Bible to support Sanctuary City. So if we go to this, Rob, I do think you have a clip on this. Go for it. Play it.
story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers.
Vinny.
Saying Americans should look to Islam and Prophet Muhammad, whatever the heck he's saying, to support mass migration. He left that part out about non-Muslims are not allowed in the Muslim holy land of Mecca, which is Muhammad's birthplace. Okay, non-Muslims are arrested and deported immediately. So he's full of it. And the fact that he's speaking Arabic in America on a stage like that drives me bananas. But just a little report card, if you guys haven't been following, about Mr. Mamdani, the freaking socialist communist. He's made it and remained it as a sanctuary city. Buses and subways fares are up, so services are slower. Right now, they're saying estimated 19 homeless people have frozen to death during last week's storm because a policy during winter storm, it allowed people to refuse shelter and freezing conditions, okay? That's him. Since then, there's been almost 20 homicides. Rapes are up 11%, and the city's facing a $12.6 billion fiscal cliff. So for anybody that was wondering what socialism looks like, there you go, New Yorkers. And then also, did you guys see the videos, Pat, of all the garbage, Robbie, on the Upper East Side? Buried in trash, 8 feet high, okay? And the same area around Gracie Mansion where he lives was all clean. Everything was done. And residents, people were actually going to his house and they were protesting in front of his freaking house. Look at how disgusting. I mean, in New York, it looks average, but just look at it. Look at New York, and everybody's complaining.
Do you see this?
Look, there's no everything's
because
gone.
of nothing. Look, this is the Great Wall of New York City trash.
Yeah.
This is now a national landmark, actually. You can't even see that there is a road on the opposite side of this. I'm about 6 feet tall. Look at this.
There you go.
This is my height. At the very least, I'll give it to Mamdani.
That's just trash in New York. That's just trash in New York on the streets. So that's everywhere. And that's Upper East Side. You can stop it, Robbie? Thank you. And the mansion in front of where he's at, the ice, everything was clean, everything was nice. And this is what you get. This is what all of you guys that were out there, like, they give me free stuff and everything. That's what you're getting. And he's talking about Muhammad and speaking a different language in the United States. Good for you.
Tom.
So he's trying to make a case here for immigration. And he was quoting Buddhism. He quoted the Torah. He mentioned Christianity. And he was using verses from in Exodus talking about the stranger. He's trying to take all that together and weave it together to make a case for immigration, strangers in a new land, treat them well and all that. And at the same time, what we didn't see here is he talked about how Islam is all about immigration and how he wants more Islam immigration into New York. That's the message. That's what's going on here. So when he says who he is, believe him. That's what we see. Now, on the other side of it, he is sitting there incapable of getting basic things done. He's at an impasse on the budget. We've already done the math and said that the $8 million that Eric Adams left to him. And Eric Adams looked Pat and I in the eye in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago and said, I left him $8 billion in surplus. Where's that? Along with the $12 billion shortfall. That's $20 million. So he's looking for money to do it. You're missing shifts on trash pickup and things like this. That is not just trash day. You could go and take film on any street in America. Oh, look at all the trash and all the barrels out here. They haven't been picked up. Wait a minute. What if that's trash day and the trucks are going to come by and pick everything up? That there in New York, that is a week or more of a lack of services for the city. And Pat, when you see something like that, their budget's wrong. Guys aren't being given shifts. Overtime shifts aren't there. It's because they're turning down the number of shifts. You know, here in South Florida, you'll notice that every now and then we'll have Saturday trash pickup. And you know when that is, Pat? You'll have a Saturday pickup when you have a national holiday, like a National Memorial Day, a National Labor Day, MLK and President's Day that are all together. Something like that. Guess what? Then all of a sudden you have a Saturday trash pickup because they look around and they say, well, guess what? There's going to be a day off for everybody here, but you know what? These guys are going to get an overtime shift for a Saturday because we just can't miss a day and have 1/6 of the city miss their trash pickup. This guy's in trouble, and he's pro-immigration, and that's what he's talking about. You don't have to read between the lines. You can listen to what he's saying and believe what he's telling you. He is already failing as a leader.
Adam.
Yeah, Rob, if you don't mind, real quick, can you just play 10 seconds of his words? So I really want to remember what he said.
The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
Okay, got it.
Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange.
Thank you.
So glad tidings.
Well, I'll say this. There's certainly something strange going on in New York City, and it's called Islamism has taken over. So in my opinion, this is how I would rank who Mamdani is. He's an Islamist first, communist second, globalist third, New Yorker fourth, and America last. So this is exactly what you voted for, Pat, as you famously said. Elections have consequences. These are the consequences. Also, words have power. Listen, if you want to say Prophet Muhammad, that's fine. If you want to say Gaza, that's fine. You're going to stand there on the bully pulpit in New York City and say Prophet Muhammad and go full Islam, like they said in Tropic Thunder. Don't go full. You know what that word is. He's just revealing exactly who he is. I have no problem with the fact that he's Muslim. I have a problem with the fact that he's a Muslim extremist. It's like the people, you want to say Gaza, that's fine. Don't call it Gaza. Gaza. So he's revealing who he is, and New Yorkers are going to pay the price. Last point, I was at an amazing Super Bowl party last night in a gorgeous house in Miami, filled with New Yorkers. Filled with New Yorkers. So for those that don't think that New Yorkers are fleeing to sunny South Florida, think again. And these are rich, rich, rich people who have had enough of this. And they've been thinking about it for years, and they're about to make that move.
Data's not going to lie. When we look at the numbers of what happens and people leave, folks, I'm telling you, if you want that, move to New York City. You should move to New York City right now. If you want to be in a place where the streets are protected, 6 feet of trash, if you want a city with high taxes, with a lot of good entitlement programs, if you want a city that's, praying to Islam and from stage to, if that's what you want, I would recommend people to move to New York who support those things. You should be doing that. I think it's a great city right now to move to if you like entitlement programs, low security. A cop gets stabbed by a criminal, and instead of going and visiting a cop in the hospital, Mamdani goes and visits the criminal who stabbed the cop. Of
course.
Did you guys hear the story?
How insane
No,
is
but
that?
nobody doubts you.
But did you hear the story?
I heard it. I saw the body cam
I didn't see
footage
this.
of what the person did. There's a video of it.
You really haven't heard
not
it?
That's
seen it, no.
insane.
If you want to,
I want to see it. Yeah.
Oh, Pat, you can see the video is the person running after the cop with a knife, and
Is
he shoots the
anybody
person.
shocked? We're all disappointed, but nobody's shocked.
Yeah, there it is.
Drop.
New York City Mamdani urges dropping attempted murder charges for a man armed with a knife.
Going after a cop
Who did he
shot
stab?
him. A cop.
So,
And
here
a
we
body
go.
cam
Body
footage-
camera footage released by the New York Police Department shows two officers responding to a 911 call made in Queens home on January 26th. The call was made by family members sharing that a 22-year-old Jabiz Chakraborty was experiencing a mental health emergency. On 911 call, a family member claimed that he had thrown a glass at the wall and they were seeking for him to be transported to a facility. Officers were invited into the home by a woman when Chakraborty appeared behind her holding a large kitchen knife. The woman struck her arm in front of him, and the officers raised their guns, calling on Chakraborty. The officers closed the front door behind them, creating a barrier between them and a 22-year-old man. However, the footage allegedly shows Chakraborty continuing to lunge at the officers, pushed through the door, prompting the officer to shoot Chakraborty 4 times. He was transported to the hospital and is currently in intensive care, listed in stable yet critical condition. Mamdani just went to visit Chakraborty in the hospital today, hearing a body cam of him charging NYPD with a knife which resulted in an officer discharging his weapon to protect
You
himself.
can see, because it's
Go
not
ahead,
it's
Rob.
not graphic. It's not crazy graphic because he goes behind the door. But yeah, Robbie,
on, let's
go
say this.
go a little bit further, Robbie, because he gets in the house. They go keep going.
Just play it.
Okay, ready for this right here, Rob? That's perfect. Look, he tries to stab her.
Baba, no!
You got a knife?
Put the knife
You got
down!
a knife?
Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
Look,
Put the knife
he's
down!
coming after the cop. Cop closes the door.
Move!
Watch.
Move!
Look.
Move! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
Look, okay.
Did he shoot him?
So yeah, he shoots him, but he doesn't kill
Where'd
him.
he shoot him?
He shoots him in the body.
Put the knife down!
But he didn't
Still-
kill him?
No, he didn't
Drop
kill
the
him.
knife! Drop the knife! Shots fired! Shots fired!
So now,
Okay.
can I say something from a law
But
enforcement?
why did Mamdani go visit this kid in the
because they
hospital?
have to be. He's anti-cop and he's pro-criminal. And for anybody that's served in the military or done law enforcement, that's exactly what the cop should have done. He should have. He could have shot him
course.
earlier. He even closed the door to put a barrier.
This is what the liberals want.
And
The
Adam,
liberals
ready for
want
this?
body
I'm
cam footage.
fully
Well,
with
you
the cop
have
on
it.
this.
Oh, 100%. I know you are.
You have it. Now you have your body cam footage, liberals. You have what you want. And then your guy goes to visit him.
By the way, this
These
should be a
guys
bigger
risking-
story, but
Of course.
Huge.
Did Mamdani make a statement why he went
Adam,
to
he went to go visit
But
the victim.
let's go with facts now.
Yeah.
Why did he go visit the victim?
I
And
just
did he
told
make
you
a
he
statement?
hates cops. No, he just hates cops, Adam, and he's trying to get rid of the attempted murder. You're trying to kill the cop.
You're the mayor of New York City. You have the NYPD. You can't just come out and say you hate cops, even if you feel like that.
Well, here's my question
So
to you.
I want to know,
Why
did he
would
make a
visit-
statement?
Why would he visit the guy that came at the cop with a knife? Who was threatening the
what
girl
I'm
in the
asking
house?
you. Rob, is there any more information that we
There is no report that he visited the cop at all. There's plenty of reports that he visited the guy at the hospital saying this guy needs mental health.
Does he know the kid?
No.
Why is he visiting the kid?
Just to make a statement that this guy needs our help because he's got mental health issues.
That's the statement you want to stand on?
Right there on the bottom. A person experiencing mental health episode does not always have to be served first or exclusively by a police officer. It is important for us to have all the options available. In the viewing of this footage, it is clear to me that Jabiz needs his mental health treatment, not criminal persecution. Oh my God, from a district attorney. And we are talking about a family that is enduring the kind of pain that no family should, and an individual that has lived with schizophrenia for many years.
Like as if the cop knows the history report of this. No.
Okay, mental health treatment. You send a counselor in there
That's
to
what they-
get stabbed.
That's what they want.
Exactly.
Well, but that's
Exactly.
That's what Mamdani pushes.
But what I'm saying is for folks that are watching this who hate cops, move to New York City.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to promote business to move people to move to New York City. If you want entitlement programs, this is the best time to move to New York City. If you want this kind of a mayor who visits the mental health individual, not the cop, move to New York City. It's a great climate. And by the way, billionaires who are, there and the people that are moneymakers, 123 or so billionaires that live in New York City, good luck keeping those guys. They're all moving out. They're going to different places, doubling down on security. So it's a very, very unique thing that's going on. I want to move on to the next story here. So that's that story that we have. All right, let's go to the next story. Yes,
Well, there's
absolutely.
Mamdani for you.
It's an understatement when we say unbelievable. Anyways, while this is taking place, couple other things. Kalshi, okay, prediction Kalshi seeks U.S. approval to offer margin trades, and this is actually massive when they're going to a place like this because this changes the game. If you play with margin, but they're opening it up. So Tom, I'm going to come to you first. FYI. Kalshi's positions with Super Bowl, I believe, hit $500 million of positions placed.
$500 million?
$500 million of positions placed with Kalshi just for Super Bowl. Rob, can you pull that up? Kalshi is climbing in a massive way. I think Humberto sent you that link right there, Rob. Zoom in, watch this. Here's Kalshi for you. Can what it look like? Look at the position. $500 million placed with Kalshi. Tom, tell us about what's going on here with Kalshi and margins.
Well, what's interesting is margin is the ability to use
debt.
Debt, and it's also ability to use assets. So, Vinny, let's say that you buy 10 shares of NVIDIA with cash, and they're in your Schwab account or they're in your Robinhood account or something like that. And then they say to you, well, that was your cash and you bought 10 shares. Would you like to buy 5 more? How do I buy 5 more? We'll let you use margin. We'll let you use 50% of the value you did as collateral here to buy 5 more shares. You're like, gee, that would be great. And because that way, if it goes down 25% or something, that's okay. You could sell everything and still pay us. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I want to do that. And so that's how you use margin to do it. And what they're offering now, not offering, they're in there talking to, remember, Kalshi is regulated. That was the one. They are regulated by the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission. And now they're looking at it and saying, look, you're allowing people to trade on margin on meme stocks, on that people follow the, say, Wall Street Bets on Reddit. Okay. And then you go over to a Robinhood account and you make, calls and puts and trade on margin that way. And what Kalshi is looking at is saying, hey, there's the CFTC, remember, CFTC giving precision saying, hey, we don't see much difference between trading and gambling. And what we're looking at is its risk. So why wouldn't Kalshi be able to take advantage of the risk laws and allow people to use margin to make their opinions known and to use some of their capital? And so it's leveling the playing field, and it's treating all of the players equally. And remember, they're regulated by CFTC, so they're not out there trying to, the fintech remember the fintech companies that said, I'm going to be a credit card, and they had no assets in the back and bad things happen? No, Kalshi's regulated. And Kalshi says, well, if you're going to rule on this, and then let's put it up and get regulatory approval, and then let people use margin to, put out and put some dollars down on an opinion or prediction, whether it's who's going to run the Fed or who's going to win the big game.
Nice.
That's a big deal. It's exciting that that's taking place. I think it's a whole new market that they're getting into, which is going to be great. Let me get to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is in regards to Team USA, freestyle skier sparks Olympic outrage over remarks about representing U.S. anti-American rhetoric. Rob, is this the clip from my Twitter account or no?
No, I can go to your Twitter.
Go to that one because I want to show the complete difference between how one reacts to it versus another one right there. So here's, what's his name? Hunter Hess talking about how he feels representing America. Go ahead, Rob.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
How does it feel to represent your country like this?
It feels amazing.
This is what America's
2020.
Love living there.
Look at that.
I love it, and I'm so happy I get to represent USA.
It brings up
awesome? Isn't that awesome what the two different looks like?
Yeah, of course.
One, you're not wanting to represent your country, and then you have Tamara Mensah, who is phenomenal on the way she celebrated. By the way, when she was celebrating, some think she's a conservative. Okay, you know who the president was when she was celebrating like that?
Cool.
Biden was the president.
Oh, really?
Because they changed the dates for COVID. Don't forget when they changed the dates for Olympics. So, Adam, your thoughts on this?
What's his kid's name?
Hunter Hess.
Hunter Hess. Okay. Well, here's how I feel. Hunter, you could stay in Italy if you don't like America. This is a Ricky Gervais type moment. When he gets up on stage, he goes, for you actors who get up on stage, don't make a political statement. Shut your mouth. Thank your agent. Thank your God. Keep it moving. And we just saw what's-her-face, Billie Eilish, did at the Grammys. Buddy, Hunter Hess, who's nobody's heard before in their life. You show up on the biggest stage at the Olympics, and all you should be doing is, I love America. I'm proud to be representing my country. That's it, homeboy. So I would boycott this kid from coming back to America, or certainly from any ads, any sponsors. Obviously, you can come back to America.
What do you say to the people, too? Hey, Adam, what happened to freedom of speech?
Oh, you could say here's what I would say about freedom of speech. We have freedom of speech, but you do not have freedom of consequences. You could say whatever you want. You could come back to the country, but we have every right to boo you when we see you. We have every right to not buy any product that you endorse, Hunter Hess. And by the way, what he said wasn't even that bad. The point is this: shut your mouth. You have a microphone. You're representing the United States of America, not the House of Hess. Shut it up.
Vinny.
There was another one, too. His name was Chris Lillis, I believe, who was sitting next to him. And he's talking about, who was it, Robbie?
I have that.
Lillis?
Chris Willis. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rob, because I don't even want to show him. If you have Amber Glenn, she's the LGBTQ figure skater. She jumped in and she attacked the country and the president.
Otherwise just known as a figure skater.
Yeah, she basically said, Pat, that Trump is attacking the queer community, and this is her right here. Listen to what she's saying.
It's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now, especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before. And because of that, it's made us a lot stronger. I hope I can use my platform and my voice throughout these games to try and encourage people to stay strong in these hard times.
Okay, Rob, can you please stop it? She's a perfect example of ignorance fueled by propaganda by the simple-minded left. What is she talking about?
Bingo.
What is Trump doing wrong with the LGBTQ community? Tom, you made a great statement, Adam, a little bit earlier. He was the first president to appoint an openly gay official to the cabinet role. And guess who the treasurer of the United States is? Scott Bessent, who's the freaking rock star. Like, I'm despised. These people drive me crazy, okay? There's no other country on earth, try to name one, that's more accepting to gays and lesbians and LGBTQ community. Go ahead. The same Olympics she's at has countries that you can't be openly gay. They'll throw your ass off of buildings and put your ass in jail. What is she talking about? That's real discrimination. So it just drives me crazy. And to the point of, again, Adam, I got to agree with you. You're representing the United States in another country. It drives me crazy, like, that you hate us so much that you're going to go there, embarrass us, and embarrass the freaking flag. Just like Gavin Newsom when he goes to Davos and he craps all over us. I'm sick and tired of that. That's why I love that video, Pat, of Tamira Menchestat. That was awesome. And you know what I realized? You know what you guys don't ever see? I've never seen, Adam, reporters ask any athletes from other countries about their politics. You ever notice that? You ever notice that, Tommy? You never see a reporter asking an athlete from England, hey, how do you feel about Keir Starmer letting the government letting all these girls getting raped by Pakistani rape gangs? Well, have you ever heard that? Or Spanish athletes, how do you guys feel about 500 Africans just brought in willy-nilly for votes?
100,000.
500,000. How do you feel about that? It boggles my mind that it's always us. This place gave you everything. All the money paid for, all your sponsorship. You're a rock star because of the United States of America. I am sick and tired, guys, like in my soul, for people crapping on this country. Enough already. Move to Canada, but guess what? They won't let you in because they have a strong-ass border. It infuriates me. This is the best. Hey, name another place better than us. Go ahead and try it. It can't even come off your lips. Gays are treated okay. All right. The only thing we pissed off about is the LGBTQ. Is the L. We don't want men with penises and girls locker rooms.
The T. That's the
sports.
T, buddy.
The T's. I'm sorry. Whatever.
Spelling is your second language.
I
get it.
Letters.
L is for lesbian.
Nobody cares if you're gay. Just keep the men out of the girls' locker rooms and out of the sports. It's that simple. Okay?
These athletes are spokespeople for their own ignorance.
Tom, here's what's crazy. She is from Plano. They homeschooled. Her parents homeschooled her. Mother was a fitness instructor or something like that, and father was a cop.
Okay.
And at 20 years old, she came out saying she's bisexual, pansexual. I don't know what pansexual is. Pansexual, bisexual.
It's like Peter. She's into Peter Pan, that kind of stuff. I guess.
So I honestly, I don't know what pansexual is.
Me neither.
But at
Probably
20
means
years
she's
old,
fluid of something.
okay, and she was homeschooled. She was homeschooled in Plano. We lived in Plano for 5 years. You and I know Plano.
Yep.
So
It's called
Tom,
social
go for
media.
it.
So these people are I'm going to say it again. They're spokespeople, spokesmen, spokeswomen for their own ignorance. They are adopting the outrage. It's like they get up in the morning and they go to Instagram and saying, what am I supposed to be outraged about today? I see a huge difference between these people with their weak, and these are weak arguments. These arguments wouldn't stand up to scrutiny if you had real journalists challenging what they're saying, pushing on what they're saying, and talking about the freedoms and everything they enjoy in the United States of America. These are nitwits. These people, they come. I compare them. You want to know who I compare them to? I compare them to Tommy Smith. Tommy Smith, during the civil rights situation in 1968, stood on a podium and put on a black glove symbolizing black power and didn't wear shoes, which he said was symbolizing black poverty, and raised his fists in the air and made a political statement at the Olympics, and he got in trouble for it. But he was not adopting a position. He was an African American that came from very, very little and personally had identified these things. Now, do we agree with him with what he did and how he said it? No, but he wasn't adopting anything. He was coming from the community versus these people wake up in the morning and decide there's something to be outraged about, and now they're speaking in outrage. I want a journalist to say, excuse me, where have you been hurt? Where have you been impacted by the riots or ICE or things like this? Or are you just being like the celebrities who make money and then select it's
a phenomenal point.
And Tommy Smith was the guy that did this?
Yeah, that's Tommy Smith.
I'm good with that.
And Tommy Smith was sent home and suspended from the team, and I'm not defending him, but my point is he had identity and he had a point coming from his own experience and life. These pinheads are just speaking
I just want to add one thing. I agree with Tom on this one. Listen, you want to make a statement when you return back to America? Say whatever you want. You're an American citizen. Say good, bad, or ugly what you feel. When you're on the global stage, you do not air America's dirty laundry to the rest of the world. Where's the Winter Olympics? In Italy somewhere?
Milan.
Okay, in Milan. Thank you. Honored to represent my country. Keep it moving. I'm actually, come to think of it, not that mad at these kids. Who are the captains? Who are the coaches? Who is Team USA saying, when you win, you get your ass on there, you thank America, you thank your team, you thank your country, and you can do whatever you want when you get home. On the global stage, you do not air our dirty laundry to the rest of the world. What's the saying? If you want to criticize me, we do it in private, but in public, you commend me. They never were given that speech, clearly. And that's why I'm upset.
Yeah, no, great point. Can you imagine, Pat, your kids going to somebody else's house and airing out everything about your house there and then coming back home? No, what are you nuts? Keep it respectful. What the hell are you going on? And the fact that she's gonna sit there and talk about her community is so hurt and the struggle. How many? First of all, Pride Month, you get an entire month. Veterans Day, we get 1 day, and I don't even get a discount anywhere. Foot Locker gives us a 10% discount. That's it.
Oh, we got to go get some shoes then.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then how many days, Pat? You did this about a year ago. How many days does the LGBTQ
Some 145.
145 days representing your people. So you made a great point. It's just ignorance, and she just wakes up in the morning. She's like, what am I going to go do? And you know her friends are like, you go, girl. Go and say how bad that you have it.
You know what's so
They're
crazy,
wind-up robots that look daily to find out, what am I supposed to be outraged about today?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's so crazy?
With tools.
Even if you're a major winner and you accomplish all these amazing things, you can still somehow have a victim mentality. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at all the opportunities that you've accomplished.
Guys,
great things you've done.
Brainwashing works for good and bad. Let me tell you, brainwashing works for good and bad. This last week we had our annual PHP recognition ceremony. Shout out to Hearts. They incredible job they're doing. Chris and Messina Hart, phenomenal job to them. Suazos,
nice,
phenomenal job. Okafor's coming up. Oriana's, these guys are really. Gaitan's doing the first $1 million point paid. Jose Marlene, great stuff that I'm seeing. What's going on with some of the guys here, but you know what I explained? Okay, so we're gonna do this to kind of show. So you got in life, you got everybody's a different size magnet. When you're small, you're a small magnet. But a small magnet is big compared to a smaller magnet. So if I have a guy here who sells weed, does cocaine, does X, sells Special K, does all this stuff, and I got a guy here who is living a right life, going to school, wants to be somebody, going to church, doesn't use drugs, doesn't use alcohol, this guy's a better salesperson than this person. he's a bigger magnet. He's going to draw me this way, right? And I'm going to be like, oh, my God, yeah, you're right. What's the big deal? You're only going to be young once. Look at Elvis did it. All these other, everybody does it, bro. Like, he's right. Enjoy your life once. What do you think your parents did when you were younger? You think your parents were like this? Become a Christian later on when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s. But live life now. You're right. Let's go live life now. And this guy doesn't know how to sell. He's just like, no, I don't want to do that. So he doesn't know how to recruit you to this way of living. You're going to be turned on by this. So these kids are going places, and they don't have a clue what's going on. If you don't have a solid foundation developed internally, emotionally, mentally, by parents, by the right examples, and you're around that for too long, boom, a bigger magnet can attract a smaller magnet to their way of thinking, and you lose 5, 10, 15 years of your life. And then you look back and say, what the hell did I just do the last 15 years? That's kind of what's happening with some of these guys. They don't even know what they're doing. Some of these guys don't even know what they're doing. When you heard about that one, the transitioner had to pay $2 million, paid $2 million. You think when that person was a kid, they knew what it meant to transition? No, they lost their life. Yep. It's permanent. Those puberty blockers destroy you. It's permanent damage that's done to these people. So anyways, I have no sympathy for that mindset. But if you're older and you choose to do that and it's your choice, guess what? That person made the decision as an adult. Let me go to a couple other stories and then we'll wrap up. Iran. So a couple things that's going on with Iran right now, okay? A couple things that's going on with Iran right now. Trump at one point said they had very good talks with Iran as Islamic Republic ratchets up rhetoric on what's going on there. And then comes out and Trump gives a warning. Rob, go ahead and play the first clip.
We had very, very good talks today having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada. We have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out.
Rob, do you have the other clip where he warns of consequences, or is it in the same clip?
That's the same clip.
Okay, keep going.
Get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week. And they want to make a deal, Iran, as they should want to make a deal. They know the consequences. If they don't make a deal, the consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens.
That's being said. So then an Iranian is trying to send a message out to the president to say, don't negotiate with these guys. You know what this guy does? To make a point to the president for not making a deal with the IRGC. What is the ultimate thing you can do for protesting, which is...
Burn himself alive?
This guy, Iranian, takes his own life.
What?
After urging U.S. president to not make a deal with the regime. Watch this, Vinny. Go. He's not. By the way, you're not going to see it live on the video.
Oh, okay. All right.
But go ahead, Rob.
If you're watching this, then...
This is from Iran.
I'm not around anymore.
What?
If you don't know, I'm from Iran. And a massacre happened in the past few weeks by our government, which is more like a bandit group. More than 40,000 people died, killed, massacred. More than Russia and Ukraine war, and more than Israel and Palestine war. I want to make this video to send a message to America and to the West in general. Tomorrow, on Friday, President Trump is going to make a deal with this regime. I mean, he told us to keep protesting. And we did it. We trust him. To make a deal with this regime, It's to betray all those people who died. So, please, I beg you, do whatever you can to stop this deal. I mean, many people say that we should take matters in our own hand, but how can you fight people with guns? I mean, it's not just the government. The government itself hired terrorist groups, Muslim terrorist groups, to kill people. And we still don't know what they did with the bodies.
Okay, this is Poria Hamidi. You just saw, okay? In the after sharing the video, Hamidi reportedly took his own life. According to the Iranian opposition news outlet, more than 40,000 people have been killed, died, massacred, more than the Russia-Ukraine war and more than the Israel-Palestine war, which he mentioned. In a 10-minute video, which was done in English, to make a deal with the regime to betray all those people who died. He's making that message. I tweeted something a few days ago about this. And here's what the reality is. Rob, if you want to go to it about Iran, I think it's called a little bit lower. You should find it right there. Right there. Okay. Iran has zero intentions of negotiating. Here's their playbook. 1, stall until domestic protests fade and regime stabilizes. 2, stall until Trump is out. 3, quietly continue advancing its nuclear program. Delay isn't diplomacy, it's strategy. Never trust the IRGC. Ever. Never trust the IRGC. This is what's going on right now, and the reality of it is, if they do a deal, these guys are just sitting there saying, listen, say whatever you want to them, we're not going to do anything. Baba, begu chi mikhad. Begu mikhad, deal bekonim, deal bokon. That's what they're saying behind closed doors. And make the deal happen, who cares? Give it to them. And then we're going to do everything behind closed doors. It's not like they can come and find out what we're working on. They're not going to find out nothing like that. So if they do make a deal, do you know when is the next time Iran will have a shot at pushing the IRGC out? You know how long? Let's say 20 to 40 years. If they make a deal. 20 to 40 years. They will stay in power. Adam, your thoughts?
Here's my thoughts. It's absolutely disgusting what's going on in Iran, but it's just as disgusting the silence that's going on the far left. Zero protest. Nothing. Can I get a tweet? Can I get a hey, maybe don't kill people? And to all the people who said Iran's not a threat to America, the Dave Smiths of the world, the Candace who's going, oh, you know, it's probably just a ploy that Israel, it's all Bibi. These are Persians, Iranians, risking their own lives, taking their own lives for you to hear what they have going on, and you have nothing to say. So we all know what the Ayatollah and the IRG stands for. They're basically like an abusive husband that talks a bunch of trash, and then when they go to fight a real tough guy, they get their butt kicked. So what do? They go home and they beat on their wife and their kids. Oh, real tough. So you're going to go kill your citizens. They don't have weapons. They have chants and slogans. And when they speak out, you go and murder your own people, not by the hundreds, not by the thousands, by the tens of thousands. And then you have the nerve as the abusive husband to criticize your neighbor, the good guy, because he didn't keep his lawn clean. This is hypocrisy of the highest level. And we all understand that if anything's going to happen, way more lives are going to be lost to this disgusting regime. And unfortunately, I don't see an end in sight.
Yeah. So God willing, we'll see. The one thing that Trump said is very important what he said. Out of everything he said in that one interview about Iran, you know what was the most powerful thing he said? He said, just remember what we did with Venezuela. Took a while. We have time. We have a lot of time. You know, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. What is he trying to say? That is how an unpredictable player speaks. And that's exactly where he needs to be. It's not good for the Iranian people. Not for the Iranian people that are going through it, that are getting killed on a daily basis. It's not good for them. But you have to realize, Trump's responsibility, as frustrating as this may be on Iranians, Trump's responsibility is not Iran.
No.
Trump's responsibility is America first. That's Trump's responsibility. So if he wanted to go like what he did with Nigeria, boom. What he did with the nuclear sites, boom. What he did with Venezuela, boom. What he's trying to do with Greenland or Cuba or all these other places, what they're trying to do with Iran, it doesn't look like the urgency is there, but maybe that is a part of their negotiation. I don't know what they're going to get out of the deal.
I think it is America first to take out Iran, because if you actually just be cold-blooded about it, and you say, who are we really worried about? China. Where does China get their oil?
I think so.
Iran.
People know my position of why I think it is. But to him, his job isn't to be as urgent as anybody else.
That's true.
There are people, if you're Iranian, where does America lie in your priority of countries? Not one.
If you're Iranian.
If you're Iranian, not one.
Iran first.
It's Iran first if you're from Iran. If you live in Israel, what is number one? Israel first. If you live in Nigeria, what is it first?
Should be a nationalist.
It should be your national.
Yeah.
You should be a nationalist.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of people in America who hate America, though.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
By the way, Pat, that kid, I don't know if you caught the last 10 seconds of what he said. Is it possible to play that again? This to me is what the Iranian regime is. He says the regime brings in terrorists from other countries.
It wasn't the last 10 seconds, but he said it. Yeah. Anyway,
it was towards the end to kill their own people.
He did.
And you know who those people are? Those Shia militias. That's Hezbollah.
Of course.
That's Hamas. The people that you're cheering for are being brought in to kill innocent Iranians. I want to know how the far left thinks about that.
All right. Lot covered today, Rob. I don't know how many stories we hit, but we hit a lot of different stories today. Great podcast on Monday. Gang, I don't normally do an interview where I tell everybody in my circle to watch. This is one of those interviews. I was not expecting it to be this good of an interview. The founder of Ritz-Carlton, I invited him. You guys know after the incident we had at Fort Lauderdale Ritz, I said, let me just reach out to the CEO myself. And I reached out to him, and he accepted the invitation, flew out. We did a 2-hour, 20-minute podcast. And this is a man that was born in 1939 in Stuttgart, Germany, January 10th. 8 months later, Hitler invades Poland, and his father had to join the military.
Oof.
And he goes from there to going into the hotel business. He told his parents he wants to do that at 11. At 14, they ship him out. He goes, works for a hotel, and then eventually creates Ritz-Carlton, takes it from a regular brand to the #1 hotel brand in the world for customer service. And then when he left, it drops from #1 to 26 today. And I pushed him to talk about Ritz, and he did. Here's a quick trailer of the interview that's coming out tomorrow. Go ahead, Rob.
I came to the conclusion, I'm working for barbarians. No fish knives, no fish fork. And they live with a situation where human beings shouldn't live. My father joined the Nazi party because he had to was working. And my grandfather was a unique character, said if our son died, he will die too.
So living in that environment impacts your life in a big way as a kid.
No doubt.
I will never go to that Ritz-Carlton in Fort Lauderdale ever again.
You understand, I cannot compromise that. You understand, I'm getting upset.
I said, there is no way this is horse's standard.
And then he said, and don't come to work tomorrow. Come here to create excellence. Now, I didn't get that.
You were #1 when you guys left.
Oh, sure.
They dropped from 1 to 26, and Capella's #1.
Yeah. No, I insisted, wherever we are, we're #1. Period. And I dealt with the general manager, said, will you accept that?
What's your superpower?
Relentless.
Let me tell you, Tom, you're going to love this guy. You talk about faith, politics, Hitler, everything. He talked about finance, money, marriage, parenting, been married for 47 years, has got 4 girls. Like, it's an all-around incredible interview.
When's it come out?
Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Ooh.
It's going to be phenomenal. Anyways, having said that, guys,
can
one last thing. One last thing before we do.
Tonight,
Go ahead, Vinny.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Hot Cakes and Hot Takes is going to be out. Colby Covington, who just won his debut at the Real American Fighting. Phenomenal conversation about his past, about Trump, about the White House UFC.
On Valuetainment Comedy.
On Valuetainment Comedy. I think they're going to have the QR code. But yeah, guys, please, and if you haven't subscribed, go for it. Subscribe. VT Comedy. Pat, we're going to hit 1 million subscribers in the next 2 months. If you guys go, hook it up and subscribe. But I appreciate you guys.
Hook Vinny up, guys. Hook Vinny up.
Take care, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.